Jaden Higgins not playing in 2 wide receiver sets for the Texans. Might not even be the wide receiver 3 right now. The reports that Xavier Hutchinson ahead of him on the depth chart. What's going on there in Houston? I have been way overdrafting Jaden Higgins, if that is all true. I'm not that worried about it, though. He's a rookie receiver. I think he's really good. Not that worried about it. Anyway, this is the continuation of DraftKings Best Ball Week number 2. I am going to be joined momentarily by Fantasy Points Jake Tribbey, who I do content with all year round, UFL, during NFL season. Looking forward to catching up with Jake. He tells me that he actually has some player takes right now. So looking forward to hear Jake's latest player takes. But before I bring Jake Tribbey in, I do want to tell you about the Draft One, Get One promo going on DraftKings right now. I'm going to run that read. I'll be back in a minute. Football season is right around the corner, and there's no better way to lock in your fantasy dominance early than with Best Ball on DraftKings, where you draft once and ride your roster all season long. And right now, DraftKings is giving all customers a can't-miss offer. Draft one, get one. Enter a lineup in the $15 million Best Ball contest for just $20, and you'll score another Best Ball ticket to play free for a share of $15 million, giving you a second shot to win big. It's easy. Just draft your team once, no weekly management required, and let your top scorers automatically start each week. Across the whole season, every breakout star, every clutch play, every touchdown will count toward your quest for a share of $15 million. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app now to draft your $20 Best Ball lineup and get a second ticket to play free for a share of $15 million. That's 2 chances to win big without ever setting your lineup again. Draft one, get one. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. All right, we are back. I'm here with Jake Tribbey. Jake, you were telling me that you actually have some player takes now.
Yeah, I have a few, Neil. I'm excited to share them with the Flannelverse, but really, I just feel blessed. I feel grateful to be here with Neil Orfield on a fine August afternoon.
Me too. One last chance to be friends before we become enemies during the cage match throughout the season.
Yeah.
But for now, we can draft a team together.
I'm flashing back to my ungodly bad cage match record last year. Variance doesn't even begin to explain what happened to me, but we'll put that in the past. It's a fresh season. I'm sure Neil won't bring that up at all once we start the cage match again this year.
I don't think variance is not the word I would use. I think my description of it would be dominance, because I just absolutely crushed you. I crushed the guests. I mean, absolute dominance in the cage match last year. We'll see. We'll see if we can bring it back this year.
Yeah, we will. We will see that, I suppose.
All right, we're going to get in and do. I'm probably going to do 3 or 4 drafts during this stream. Jake, I don't know how long you're going to. You can join me for as long as you want to. I know that's longer than you have committed to. I don't have any expectation for guests longer than 1 draft, but I know you have joined me for several in the past at times. So we'll see how you're doing if you have the time.
How has your journey of maxing out the $20 been going? How far along are you?
I have a lot left to do. I think I'm more than halfway through the $20, but yeah, I think I have. Does it show me? Doesn't show me right here. We're getting in right now. If anybody wants to join. I think we just finished, so we might not have a friends and family draft for this first one.
I will say, Neil, I'm very glad that you're drafting on DraftKings this year. I'm a big DraftKings fan. Rake is like ridiculously low on DK if you max out the $20. I believe the effective rake drops down to about 3%. And Neil, am I wrong in saying that this is going to be another pretty heavy promotional week for DraftKings Best Ball?
This is DraftKings Best Ball week. I will be streaming 20 drafts this week for DraftKings, along with doing some other content as well. So yeah, it's going to be super busy for me and a lot of other people doing a lot of DraftKings content.
Yeah, that also means a lot of great daily promos generally on DraftKings when they do these type of offerings. So definitely worth taking advantage of, because I would imagine if you take advantage of all those promos, you can probably get your effective rate close to 0%, which is pretty awesome for games like these.
Yeah, so I think the latest today is like you have to enter 3 on today, like by midnight tonight Eastern. You have to enter 3, I think, in the $20 milli, and then you'll get like a $15 ticket or something. But it is like every single day they run new promos, I think. So it should be a good one on top of the draft one get one promo that I already told you about.
Very nice. Yeah, crutches already at $616 in rake back.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, that is fantastic. I love DraftKings. Also, I mean, these draft rooms are ridiculously soft. You only need to look at the top of the website to see that they also offer lottery, casino, and horse racing. And dare I say, I think a few of those people who are participating in those games might be drafting some maybe less than good best ball teams.
Possibly, it feels that way. Certainly feels that way. So we get the number 2 hole. By the way, we're starting in 8 seconds. I'm guessing that Jamar Chase is going to be off the board. No guarantee there. You never know on DraftKings, but good chance Jamar Chase is off the board. Do you have a second favorite pick?
I feel pretty wide open. 2 through 6 feel very similar picks to me this year.
Yeah.
More than fine with CD, more than fine with Justin Jefferson, more than fine with Saquon. Bijan obviously also a great pick there. So, like I said, I view 2 through 6 as pretty much the same pick. I've been loosely spreading out my exposures between those guys. Do you have a guy you're generally going at when you pick second?
Oh, Bijan goes first, so we get our Jamar Chase.
All right, that's fantastic.
We'll take Jamar Chase at the 102. That's fun. Yeah, I don't like it. It was Justin Jefferson for me for a while, but now I'm kind of loaded up on Jefferson, so I'm trying to flatten it out a little bit with a little bit more of Saquon, Bijan. But yeah, it'll be Chase, Jefferson, CD. I like going the receivers first.
Yeah, and Jefferson has come down a little bit. Something that I kind of wanted to ask you about, Neil, because I'm sure you've drafted a little bit more than I have. I feel like some of the injury reactions this season are insane. Like, we are getting crazy moves based on some of these offseason injuries. I was talking to Ryan Heath about it actually earlier today. We were all talking about it during a company projections meeting, but he said he thought it was a bit of the coach speakification of the news cycle, where everyone just wants to really reinforce their priors, and it seems like maybe we're putting a little too much weight on, some of these camp reports, some of these injuries that are coming out, which is just strange because I do feel like in general, the market is sharper than ever. But these injury reactions just seem just a bit out of whack to me compared to previous seasons.
I wonder if it's boredom, because people start drafting now in literally January, February, start drafting.
Yeah.
And by now, a lot of people have thousands of drafts, or at least hundreds of drafts under their belt. So they're just looking for some reason to change something in their rankings, some reason to change what they're doing. So I wonder if it is kind of that to an extent.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it probably is trying to get ahead of some of the, closing line value as well a little bit. I mean, the Travion Henderson steam that's happened lately has just been absolutely bananas. And I think people are maybe not thinking as much about, is he a great pick in this round, and more about, oh, he's going to be going, 2 ADP spots higher tomorrow, so I better get my shares in now.
Right.
But yeah, I do largely agree with you in crutches. I think there's a lot of boredom. I think a lot of the heaviest drafters are just looking for things to change, things to chase.
Yep. Crutches says being bored, and drafting is my superpower. I can just keep clicking Eckler over and over. I wish that I've laid off Eckler a little bit, and now I'm really regretting it, obviously, because he's moving up. Seems like really great click right now. So I'm going after him. Partially also I'm using an RTA tool, as you see on the screen. So some of my takes kind of get lost in the sauce as I'm using that, and just want to click one of the first few names. Sometimes my earlier takes get a little bit lost there. But yeah, I still have a fair amount of Eckler. Definitely over the field there.
Do you like your RTA tools? I've been drafting raw, Neil. You very pro RTA tools at this point?
I think the Sidekick is just fantastic. They're running sims, season-long sims. I think it's a great tool. Also, as we were talking about before the stream, most of my drafts, 90% probably, are slow drafts. And when you wake up on the clock in 60 slow drafts, I would be dead without the RTA, without the Sidekick. So yeah, it's pretty important for me as somebody who's doing a bunch of slows, just to give me a shortcut to what I might want to be thinking about here.
Yeah, makes sense.
Achane all the way down to 21. That is quite the fall for Achane. He's got a little injury, so it's we know the reason for it, but still, I was hoping for it.
This, end of the second, beginning of the third is where things start to get a little gross. I like Bucky here. Also fine with Jonathan Taylor, either or. Jonathan Taylor with Anthony Richardson was the QB9 by usage, or excuse me, RB9 by expected fantasy points per game. RB1 with other quarterbacks.
Maybe we should take. I don't have that much Taylor, and now we have Daniel Jones named.
Let's grab a Taylor.
I've got a lot more Bucky, so let's do a Taylor share.
I don't know that the Daniel Jones stuff like I should ask you, Neil, how much does Daniel Jones starting week 1 change your assessment of drafting Anthony Richardson? Because pretty much all year we've had close to a split projected for these two quarterbacks. I think it's really just a question of who's more likely to start at the end of the season, and we really have no way of knowing that at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the coaches also come out and say that he doesn't have a leash. Like they're
Oh,
just expecting it to be Daniel Jones. Also,
it's
I
Daniel
I
Jones,
agree with
though.
you. I agree with you. So I have not been super high on Anthony Richardson anyway. I have not been like an Anthony Richardson bull. So um, it doesn't change what I'm doing, which is I'll take Anthony Richardson if I need a third quarterback. I don't have anybody stacked up. Like, sure, then at that point, I'll take Anthony Richardson. He has not been a huge priority for me just because I'm only drafting 2 or 3 quarterbacks. I don't really want to take guys who could be zeros or like are not going to play all that much.
Mhm.
And I think like we're still sort of stuck on the idea that he is all right. Well, let's make our pick first.
I like Hampton a lot here.
All right. Pull Hampton up. I do
Yeah,
like Amari Hampton. All right, in.
definitely feels like an alpha build too. Two true workhorse running backs here.
Yeah,
After Jamar Chase, I really like that start.
yeah. But yeah. So Anthony Richardson, to me, it's like he was really really good 2 years ago. He was
Yeah,
put up over 25 fantasy points like most of the time. Felt like he was, and then last year he actually like closed out games where he only put up 8 fantasy points, where he played the full game, didn't get hurt, and still wasn't putting up monster fantasy games. So I'm less sure. Like if we only get 8 games of Anthony Richardson, I think a lot of people have it in their minds of like, yeah, but he's going to average 26 fantasy points in those games, and I don't think that that's a guaranteed thing. I think we might have been a little bit fluky that he was so good early on. I think he is a little bit more injury prone than the typical quarterback because of how much contact he takes. So I don't know. I agree with people that he is a fine late round click, but he's not somebody that I ever like really moved up my boards for the upside there.
yeah. I'm with Chris Mazzone, who just left a comment. I was taking a lot of A-Rich as my QB3 earlier in the year, and then he kind of got steamed up the last few weeks, and I backed off. And I can see myself, as we enter the beginning of the season, if you can get like a round 18, round 19 AR,
Yeah.
that feels pretty good as your QB3, especially if you have a shakier quarterback room, maybe like a Drake May and a Sam Darnold. I don't mind rounding that out with an AR.
Yeah. No, agree. Like he's there are places for him. I'm just not there are people who are like have like 40% Anthony Richardson because they're just like they leave a spot open for Anthony Richardson. I guess that's kind of where I draw the line. I feel the same way
Yeah,
about a lot of players. Like he's just a player that like I'll take him if he makes sense for my team, but I'm not when I'm drafting backwards, trying to think of like who do I really like in the late rounds. He's not one of those guys that I'm like, all right, I need to leave a spot open for Anthony Richardson. I was just talking with Adam, shit my money in DMs, and he was like, I don't understand why Pat Fryermuth goes so late. And I'm like, I take a fair amount of Pat Fryermuth, but I think I'm like close to the field because he's another one of those guys like, yeah, I think he's a pretty good late round pick, but I'm not leaving a tight end spot open for him. There's a lot of those kinds of guys that's just like, yeah, I think
yeah.
I agree with you. Like he's a pretty good value there, but also I'm not like smashing it. I'm not like waiting to get that pick. It's like, yeah, he makes sense there, but I'm not going out of my way to make sure I get him on my team.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I think, another interesting comment here and something that's probably worth discussing. CMC's ADP. I mean, I think there is a great argument that CMC is like the most undervalued player in the entire first round. I'm curious what your thoughts are on McCaffrey because if he stays healthy, he's probably got the best chance of any player to be the overall RB1.
Probably. I also think like we don't want to worry too much about past like we have a lot of past years of CMC being the RB1, but I don't think we can just like assume that that's going to be the case again. I've heard that argument many times. Like if CMC's healthy, he's the RB1. It's a different running back situation now. We've got Jahmyr Gibbs. Like Jahmyr Gibbs could just outperform CMC if he takes on a bigger role. If anything happens to David Montgomery, you can do your extrapolator meme for me right now if you
Yeah,
want to.
well, I mean, Neil, if Jahmyr Gibbs played 130% of the Lions snaps, he would average
Yeah,
44.7 fantasy points per game, which is
that's
easily
pretty
the
good.
most all time. So
Yeah,
I think that's something
exactly.
people need to consider.
That is absolutely something we should all be considering. Saquon just can continue to his role from last year can smash it. There's just a lot of running backs that are in really good spots, but also I think CMC has gotten injured a number of times now. There's some chance, and they've kind of alluded to they want to keep him healthy, so they're not going to give him quite that same workload. And as talented as he is, like part of the past production is just he gets so many touches every single game. If that comes down a little bit, maybe the fantasy points you'd expect to also. So I don't know. I just don't want. I don't think we can guaranteed that he would be the RB1 based on health. It's fairly likely, as likely as any other running back, maybe the most likely, but it's still not like greater than 50%, even if he stays healthy, that he's going to be the RB1. All right. George Pickens is here. Jalen Waddle.
I love Waddle here. I've taken a ton of Waddle. He would probably be my favorite pick.
Just going to sort by ADP here real quick. Unless you want to go Burrow right now. Would you rather go Waddle?
Let's go Burrow. Waddle will come back to us, I bet.
Yeah, his ADP is much later. I am I think making a concerted effort to get more Burrow right now. Just seeing how bad that defense is.
And my God, in preseason, it has been. I watched the preseason game. I went to the University of Cincinnati. Almost all my friends are Bengals fans, so we watched the preseason game last night, and it was, I mean, Washington didn't even trot out a lot of their starters, and they were. It was like 15 yards of play. This defense is going to be awful. Joe Burrow is going to have to put the city on his back yet again. I think the Bengals are going to average 30 points per game and probably go 7-10, which is a very sad thing for me to say.
Yeah, but fun, really fun for fantasy sports.
Super fun, super fun. Just the only other thing I have to say on our CMC discussion is like, I understand the assumption that, maybe they'll try to rotate him out a little bit more. Every 49ers backup running back is hurt right now. Garendo's hurt. Patrick Taylor just got placed on season-ending IR. Jeff Wilson is healthy, but he's Jeff Wilson. Corey Kiner has a high ankle sprain. So, this running back room is very, very gross, at least early in the season. That might not matter in the playoff weeks, but let's go Waddle here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think people like in their minds, like if he stays healthy, he is the RB1. I just want to I push back on that. Like I think it's still less than 50% likely that he would be the RB1 if he stays healthy, because he still needs a lot to go right to be the RB1. I mean, it's like I said, I think it's probably the likeliest of any running back to be the RB1. But I think it's very reasonable for Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley to go ahead of him. Like I have no issue with that. Because also there's no guarantee that he stays healthy, which is true of any player, but particularly one that we've seen get hurt over and over.
Yeah, but none of his. I feel like people make out a lot about McCaffrey's injury history when there's no torn ACL in there. There's nothing that would that should linger too much. I guess the Achilles tendonitis would be the biggest concern. But he's going to Germany to get some kind of crazy, or he did last year. The Kobe Bryant illegal procedure, whatever it is. So I'm not necessarily too worried about that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with Charles in the comments. Like, if you're taking CMC in round one, I think you have to assume health for any round one pick, probably any pick really. But yeah, I'm definitely drafting CMC. I like CMC a lot where he goes.
I guess so. I'm also thinking about it from a portfolio standpoint. So like, I would like to I don't want to take him third overall because I'll get so much CMC if I rank him as my 101, I'm going to have a ton of CMC, and I'm not that confident. So like, in the drafts where I take him, I'm going to assume his health, but over my entire portfolio, like I'm trying to be with the field on CMC because I think that there is a pretty high likelihood of injury, some kind of drop in production, that kind of stuff. So I think I disagree with the logic of like, if you assume he's going to be healthy, he should be your 101. Like just you'll get him at 8%. If you rank him as the 7th player in your pool, you're going to get about 8% CMC most likely. So yeah, I'm just I'd push back on that.
Yeah, I guess I should qualify that and just say, all relative to ADP. Like I don't want 100% CMC by any means, but I definitely want to be over the field given where he is, where he's going in drafts.
Yeah. All right. Coming back on our pick,
Travis Hunter.
Hunter's got the Q tag
every time if he makes it to us.
Jake, you gotta keep your mouth closed. You got to keep your mouth closed until the pick.
We were the 12th team in, Neil. I think I can.
Oh, you are right. It's possible none of these people are drafting with us.
Yeah, exactly. In the next draft, I'll be quiet.
Good. You're gonna
Yeah, I am. I've been on a handful of best ball streams, and I'm not great at that. Oh, well,
Hunter
I guess
goes.
We can call that my fault.
It's all your fault. It's all your fault.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm a lot more open to whoever you want to take here.
This is around the place where I start considering Rashee Rice, but I'm not like super excited about it. We could go Matthew Golden here. Wouldn't hate Juwan Jennings. Do you have a preference?
Can probably wait on Juwan. I'm fine with Golden. I really don't have much Golden.
We could take Rashee Rice. I mean, this is quite a fall. I think he's going to miss a lot of time, though.
And we just don't know what weeks.
Yeah.
It's such an ambiguous suspension situation that makes it really tough. If he comes back around, I'd probably be okay with it. Okay. Judy's another great pick. Judy and Juwan Jennings, it's like kind of 2 or 3 round range are the guys that I've been hammering the most by a pretty significant margin, I'd say.
I forget the fantasy points. Fantasy points boys love their Browns. The Browns passing game.
Oh yeah, I mean Judy, Cedric Tillman, David Njoku are all ridiculously underdrafted right now. I think for a team that's going to lead the league in pass rate and lead the league in plays per game, or be top 3 in either of those categories. I understand the concerns over quarterback play, but I think people have their minds poisoned by DTR and Deshaun Watson combining for 4.8 yards per attempt last year, which is the second worst mark since JFK was assassinated.
Yeah, I mean Joe Flacco, like he's getting old, but like he's produced some pretty strong receivers.
Oh yeah, he's basically old white Jameis Winston to me. At this point,
I don't think he's as fun as Jameis Winston.
Not quite as fun, but he's close. Jameis Winston light, we can call him that.
Do you want to do Jerry Jeudy here?
I definitely like Jeudy here.
All right, let's do it. We're at 1-2-4-0. Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor, Amarian Hampton, Joe Burrow, Jalen Waddle, Matthew Golden, and Jerry Jeudy. Fun team.
Yeah, I like this a lot. This is a fun build. How have you been? So, I feel like last year we were pretty universally pushed towards a ton of wide receivers early on. This year feels a bit more balanced overall. Has there been a general construction that you've been like pushing for, or are you going more balanced? Because I've been very balanced throughout my drafts.
I've also been very balanced. It's there was I kind of had the thought earlier this week or maybe last week where I started thinking like I'm not doing enough 0 RB. Like I still think that there's a lot of value in it, like based on the same reason as last year still applies of like running backs. It's more of an opportunity based position, so like you can get those guys that come on later, like draft them later and they can smash. But then I just look at the actual player pool here and I feel better about a lot of the later receivers than I do the later running backs. So then I do come back to, I ultimately always just come back to, I'll just take whoever the best player available is for my build rather than like trying to build out for a 0 RB team, just because like, again, there's just a lot of late receivers that I think are really strong picks, and the running backs, they haven't really like popped to the same to the extent that I thought they would by mid-August, and maybe that can change quickly. Like we can get some really bullish stuff on an RB2 somewhere, and suddenly 17th round pick is somebody I love, and then I'll start drafting more 0 RB. But as of right now, I think I feel pretty good about some of the late receivers, and I like some of the late running backs, but it's more like I like taking dart throws on them, and less like I need to have 20% of this guy because I really believe in it.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I really like some of these late round wide receiver options. And I mean, after say pick 65, 70, running back starts to feel pretty gross to me. So I generally like to have at least 2 solid running back picks on my team by then.
Yeah.
Neil, we still have a little bit of time. So the other guy that I wanted to ask you about, who I was really hoping would fall to us, Travis Hunter. Do you have a Travis Hunter take? Because he has to be the most polarizing player that I can remember in best ball, certainly this year and probably for the last few years.
Yeah, no, I'm super in on Travis Hunter. It's funny that Scott has been the one who's been the most like anti-Hunter in fantasy while betting on him to win MVP. It's just but yeah, I mean, I think that's good to have nuance in your takes. But yeah, I think that there's just a real possibility that he is primarily a wide receiver. The team keeps listing him as a wide receiver on the depth chart and a backup cornerback. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on Travis Hunter. I think he could just be awesome. I think that offense should be fun. So I'm very in on him. Was definitely hoping to get him to fall to us there. Love to see the Q tag here on DraftKings. We're going to be able to draft him later than we should be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty much all in on Hunter. I absolutely love Travis Hunter this year. I think probably the worst take that people have is that, he could play 55% of the snaps on offense and 60% of the snaps on defense. Why wouldn't they just play him 100% of the snaps in one position if that's their plan, to make him part-time in both roles? Also, you have an offensive coordinator in Liam Cohen who is fantastic at scheming targets for guys. So even if Hunter is out there for 60% of snaps, he might pull something like Chris Godwin's slot production from last year. Chris Godwin ran in the slot on around 55% of his routes and averaged, I think it was 13 or 14 fantasy points per game from the slot. To me, that's Hunter's sort of floor case. And then the ceiling is he's arguably better than Brian Thomas and also somehow plays 70% or so of the snaps on defense. And then he is legitimately in the MVP discussion if Jacksonville doesn't totally suck.
Yeah. Did you made that bet? I think Jake told me, or Scott told me you made that bet.
I put Scott on that bet, and then
the 300 one.
Scott DM'd me and was like, "Oh yeah, I talked to I think it was Ed Teach about this, and Scott and Ed are friends, and Ed's one of the best sports bettors ever." And Ed was like, "Oh yeah, I love that. That's a fantastic long shot MVP bet." So that made me feel very smart, very big brain.
We are on the clock once again. I do want to note that the turn is on auto draft, so if there's somebody falling, they might take them. I don't know. What do you want to do here?
I don't hate going Bo Nix and just calling our QB room good. He's a pretty easy late.
Jaden Reed also falling if we want to do Packers.
Ooh, yeah, I don't. Yeah, Jaden Reed's fine too. Up to you.
All right, we went Bo Nix. And then do we want to go Evan Ingram?
Ooh.
Assuming he's here, or maybe he's not here.
Doesn't look like he's there.
All right, I didn't realize he was off the board already. Okay. We could go Jaden Reed, but now we've got two quarterbacks. We don't necessarily need a third. J.K. Dobbins.
Ooh, could we go Charbonnet?
I'd be down for Charbonnet.
Yeah, I think as like backup running backs go, Charbonnet is easily one of the best ones. I mean, he'll have, a fine standalone role, but got to remember, Kenneth Walker is a guy who has had these recurring foot ankle issues every single season he's played. I mean, he always misses time. Charbonnet, I believe, and I'd have to double check this, but there was a game that Walker missed last year where Charbonnet scored 44 DraftKings points, and I believe also had the single best workload of any player all season. So there's some incredible usage upside there for Charbonnet if anything happens to Walker. And as injury-prone running backs go, Kenneth Walker is near the top of that list.
Yeah, no, I think Charbonnet. I don't have nearly enough Charbonnet has been my recent take, so I'm trying to up that exposure a little bit right now. Because I agree with you. Like, I think it's just like the contingent. We've seen the contingent upside there. He might have some standalone role. So yeah, I think he's a great click just in that range. I feel like I'm usually targeting quarterback where he goes, so it's somebody that I have not gotten enough of.
Yeah.
So good to get him on a team where it makes sense here.
Do you have any of these? Sorry to interrupt. I was just going to ask, any of these mid-round quarterbacks really stand out to you? I feel like the guys that I've been taking the most have been Nix, Drake May, JJ McCarthy, but I feel like they're all pretty reasonable bets.
Yeah. Thank you for pandering to me. Yeah, JJ McCarthy certainly up there for me. If I have one of the Vikings 3 receivers, receiving options with Hawkinson in there, I will definitely pull up JJ McCarthy to try to get him. Otherwise, if I don't have one, I do target Drake May, I think, more than anybody, just because I like his backsacking options and the upside there. I'd say those are the two that I am targeting the most. But I like Dak quite a bit also if I have either of the Cowboys receivers.
Man, Cowboys are going to throw a ton. Drake May, everything is pointing to him running a lot more this year. Last year, I believe he only had 7 designed rushes, which is like a laughably low amount for a guy who's pretty athletic.
Yeah.
This year, I think they're really going to run him. Josh McDaniels coached Cam Newton to like 10 design rush attempts per game. Granted, that was pretty much all Cam Newton could do in that, I believe it was 2019 season. But yeah, I think there is some really great rushing upside for May this year.
Yeah, no, I'm into it. Here JJ goes pick 114. It's a 3 quarterback with Hurts, Prescott, and JJ.
Wow.
But he's got them stacked up. Hurts with Brown, Jefferson with JJ. That's kind of fun. I don't know who Dak is with. Maybe unstacked. Interesting.
You can always grab Kevontae Turpin round 20.
Exactly.
I've been snagging a lot of, mostly for the bit, but I also think as like a floor wide receiver pick, Kevontae Turpin is a pretty great round 20.
I think the floor ceiling combo for Kevontae Turpin is awesome.
Really? I
Yeah,
just kind of doubt, like, even if like George Pickens got hurt, I have doubts that they would give Kevontae Turpin, say, like a 20% target share. But he's going to get a ton of schemed work, and he's an extremely explosive player, fastest ball
we
carrier
are
in
on
the
the
NFL
clock again. I start up Keenan Allen just in case, but do we want to take Marvin Mims for the stack?
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh, I also really like Christian Kirk based on latest news. We get him.
Mims will come back to us, so I think I prefer. Okay, yeah, let's go Kirk.
Would you? Yeah, just I think he's going to start moving up boards. I've liked Kirk all around, and now he's
Yeah,
no.
Kirk to me is just one of those guys who's a really strong bet to beat ADP, but probably not by a ton.
I think he could buy a ton.
Really?
I think the upside is higher than if he is like right now. He's playing two wide receiver sets, which I didn't even think that was the case. I thought it was just the slot receiver. And now he's playing in two wide receiver sets. Who knows what that holds? But yeah, I actually think there's pretty high upside there for Kirk. I think he's like a really good receiver who just like can't stay healthy.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's an interesting take. I don't know if I fully agree with you, but
I know you like my take when you call it interesting. That's always a good sign that somebody likes your take when they call it an interesting one.
I mean, I think you're the first person that I've heard try to make a strong upside case for Christian Kirk.
I mean,
it's reasonable.
He just keeps getting hurt, and when he stays healthy, he's actually like he puts up fantasy points. I don't know. I don't think we need to like extrapolate too much. We just need to like if he just stays healthy, he could be pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
What else would I say? Oh, so Kevontae Turpin, like you said, the upside would be they scheme more stuff to him, but also like they're giving him some running back work. Like I don't think it's not the likeliest scenario that he takes on like a heavy RB workload, but if he just like adds 3 or 4 carries per game, like that's pretty good. Like that could be 3 touchdowns throughout the course of the year that you add to his stat line, and then it could be more. Like there isn't like a great running back there in Dallas. So what's really stopping them from saying, you know what, this guy is our best rusher. Let's give him 8-10 rushes per game. Again, I don't think that's likely, but I think that it's like the fact that they're trying to get him the ball more often, and he might just be their best running back. Like I think it's within the range of outcomes that he runs more than we're expecting.
I like that a lot. I had the thought earlier, and I forget who I was talking to this about, but I believe it was Schottenheimer who compared Jaden Blue a little bit to Darren Sproles, right?
Yeah.
And Kevontae Turpin, I think, is a much better Darren Sproles comp than Jaden Blue is. Kevontae Turpin is, I mean, just a fantastic athlete, like incredibly agile, incredibly fast. I could very easily see him, becoming a reasonable running back in the league. So I like that, Neil. Maybe I should be making a bigger upside push for my boy Kevontae Turpin. Not many people know this. 2022 USFL MVP.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. Oh, I know.
I know you know.
Mathology. Unfortunately, this is not the shipper because we drafted the shipper last night on our streams last night. No, this one it might be. I'm feeling good about this team so far.
I am as well. Neil, we didn't work this out, but I get half the equity here, right?
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Oh, Jake. Should we have talked about this pre-show? I hate
we should have talked with. Yeah, no, you get half the equity. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Are you doing a bit because that was a thing that happened on the Coach Speak channel?
What was there? I don't know if I'm familiar with.
Oh, you're not. Oh, just there was a super awkward stream where Chesley was on the Coach Speak Index, and they had not worked it out, and the Coach Speak had, I think, just not thought about it at all. Like equity splitting is like was not familiar that was like the thing that people do. So when Chesley brought up, he was just like, and just to be clear, I get 50% of this. Coach Speak was like, what? Like it just like it was kind of an awkward stream all around. Yeah,
I love that. That's fantastic. Yeah. Wow.
No, but on my streams, yes, we split equity.
Okay, thank goodness.
But only if we make the final. If we don't make the final, I'm not sending you $10. It's only if we make the final.
I will Venmo request you $10, but you can deny me. That's okay.
All right. That's fair. That's fair.
Just out of principle, I will.
I like it. This is interesting.
It is. It would be pretty sweet if Keenan Allen came back to.
He goes one pick before us. I had him. Yeah, I had him.
I need to stop talking before we pick. Mooney, I think, is a great pick here.
All right. We do have 6 receivers already. Is my one hesitation there, but
we could pretty much wrap up receiver with that. I'm fine with Tootin too if you want to grab a running back.
I just see Tootin, Spears, Sampson, pretty strong running back range, I think.
Yeah, one of those guys will come back to us, so I'm
Yeah.
not too worried. Yeah,
Oh, and
Mooney is
Eckler. All right,
Mooney is
who's your
another.
preference between this group of four? Tootin, Spears, Sampson, Eckler.
Probably Tootin. I'm fine with Eckler though. I think they're both pretty strong.
Yeah.
Do you have a strong preference here?
I have a ton of Tootin, so I'm
Okay,
almost thinking maybe this is a good
let's
Eckler.
get some Eckler.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I really so that was my hesitation with Mooney, is that we could just take two of that group, and I feel pretty good about it. But who knows? Maybe one of these guys makes it back to us. I also like Jerome Ford, Tyler Algier, a lot of Rico Dowd, a lot of good running backs in the potentially that could fall back to us too. So yeah, we're looking good.
And I really like, by the way, these some of these 3 tight end builds. I think there are a lot of strong picks in regards to later round tight ends. I also think some of the middle round tight ends are great picks. I have not been taking much like Bowers, McBride. I've been taking a bit of Kittle. How have your tight end exposure shaken out this year?
Different than yours. I've been drafting a ton of the elites. I think this could be the year that one of those elite tight ends really separates. Like Bowers and McBride in particular. Just you don't need that much progression for one of these guys to absolutely smash, particularly on a full PPR site. Like these guys are likely to have over 100 receptions, whereas the later tight ends could just have 60. So they can really separate just from PPR. And then of course I think they're just more talented. So when they do get the ball, they're more likely to score touchdowns, more likely to pick up yards, etc., etc. So yeah, I think I am more into the elite tight ends than it sounds like you are. Yeah.
I like Bowers. Like I probably want to get a little more Bowers exposure. McBride, I'm not particularly interested in. I actually bet Bowers to lead the league in receiving touchdowns. I think there's a pretty decent chance he's up there, top 5 in receptions, and then we just need this offense to not be total shit and to not give the ball to Ashton Genty every time they're in the red zone.
We saw how good he was last year with terrible quarterback play, and now they had Geno
Desmond
Smith,
Ritter
who I think is pretty good.
games.
Yeah,
which is just
I think
insane.
Geno's pretty good. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. I also Trey McBride. You just need the touchdowns to fall right. That's the upside case there.
Speaking of the Cardinals, Neil, I haven't heard anyone be able to articulate a reason for why I should draft Marvin Harrison Jr., and I don't understand why he's going in the 3rd round when I can grab Mike Evans or Devontae Adams instead. This is a guy who had 0 design targets last year. He was a sacrificial X, running almost all his routes deep. What is the upside case for Marvin Harrison Jr.? Crutches says there is no reason. I agree. He's like a 5th round pick to me, and he's going in the 3rd. I don't understand it.
So I'm not the guy to make the case because I'm certainly under the field to Marvin Harrison. I think I think it's just, he was pretty good as a rookie. Like we think of it as like he had a really bad rookie year, but that's because the expectations were extremely high. So it's just, I think it's just a bet on him taking another step this year, is what a lot of people want to do.
If they had a new offensive coordinator, I think I would be pretty excited to draft him. But as long as it's Drew Petzing, I'm totally out. I don't think I'd take a single share at these prices.
Yeah. Crutches. Yeah. Famously, I think Crutches was one of the handful of people who were very anti elite tight end last year. I will say I'm kind of a sucker for it. I fall for it every year. Elite tight ends. I mean, just the coach speak on tight ends is just always way more bullish than reality, and I fall for it every year. So I'm trying not to fall for it every year, but I think this is one where I still I believe in it with these guys because the talent is so good. All right, well that's good. Benny says, FYI, Coach Speak Index commented on his channel that Liam will get half the equity, and so will all of the guests. That's good to hear. I was his guest on one, so I'm glad to hear that. See, I'm a fan of Coach Speak. A lot of people were really put off by it. I was like, I think this is just he has not considered this before. He has not had this conversation, so he's like, oh God, Liam's coming in here, coming at me making this request, and so I kind of figured he would come around to oh, if that's what everybody's doing, I'll do that too.
Yeah, that would be a pretty shocking thing to get hit with if you had never even considered that you would potentially split equity. I'm actually not going to say it because
just shut up, Jake. All right, now you can talk.
Hunter Henry, please. I think he is a fantastic late round pick here.
Our first tight end.
Drake May really locked onto that guy.
All right, now what? So that Sam Darnold and Jalen McMillan went. Mason Taylor is now the suggestion. If we want to go with our second tight end here.
Yeah, I'd be fine with Mason Taylor. None of these other players are speaking to me. Woody Marks would probably also be a pretty decent pick at this spot.
Yeah.
Let's go Woody. Yeah,
Woody?
I think that's
We can
my
do
lean
that.
right now. Yeah, let's go there.
Nice. All right. So we are at 2-5-7-1. Now the team is Joe Burrow, Jonathan Taylor, Omarion Hampton, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Matthew Golden, Hunter Henry, Jerry Jeudy, Bo Nix, Zach Charbonnet, Christian Kirk, Marvin Mims, Darnell Mooney, Austin Eckler, and Woody Marks. Looking good. I think this team's coming together nicely.
Yeah, that is looking really strong. What do you make? I mean, we just took Woody Marks. What do you make of this Houston running back situation? I've heard a variety of rumors about Joe Mixon. I've heard people say that he could potentially miss the entire year.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy. And then you look at the depth chart after Mixon, and it is thin, man. Like I really feel like Woody Marks could emerge here, but maybe we just get like Nick Chubb plotting his way to 3.9 yards per carry, and Woody Marks is stuck at like 8 expected fantasy points per game. I could also see that.
Damian Pierce, I think, could be a thing. There's some Jordan.
New OC. I mean, obviously the last coaching staff hated Damian Pierce, but maybe the new guy likes him. Who's to say?
Woody Marks is, I think, the best bet of the group. So I'm just because of the pass catching role, like you don't really need like the concern is the offensive line, but to me that's a bigger concern for pure rushers versus the pass catching back, because you can still catch the ball short and get a 2-yard gain with a terrible offensive line. So I think Woody Marks probably my favorite bet of the group. I think Nick Chubb. I don't know. It is funny listening to the coach speak. Like even like the way they talk about it, I was like, he can plod behind those pads. Like, my God, that does not sound that great when you like are literally calling him a plotter.
He's
a fine bet,
running back ever, and now like, oh, father time comes for all of us. This can't be good.
Yeah, is not that promising. But also like some of the coach speak has been pretty positive there. I don't want to like completely rule out that he is their favorite rusher of the group. But yeah, I'm going to be underweight to Nick Chubb. I like Damian Pierce as a 20th round pick. I'm out on Jawar Jordan. So for me, it's mostly Woody Marks, then Damian Pierce if I can get him in the 20th round, and I need a running back there is somebody I like. A little bit of Nick Chubb. I want to have a 4% exposure blanket.
It's not going to happen, but imagine if Nick Chubb averages 5 yards per carry again this year. That would be, I mean, just put him instantly in the Hall of Fame. Don't even wait the 5 years, just right now.
Yeah, immediate.
That would be so cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, I guess I was hopeful, and it sounded like the coaches were sort of hopeful that like maybe he gets back to like he's another year removed from injury. Maybe he can really bounce back this year, but it doesn't really sound like that is happening based on the more recent coach speak.
I mean, it's a miracle he was able to come back from the injuries that he suffered in his past. At his age this year, it's crazy he can even make a roster. And maybe he'll kind of luck box into that given what's happening with Mixon. But
yeah.
He's a guy who I think is generally being way overdrafted. Mixon's going in Chubb's going in the 120s, 130s, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, on DraftKings he goes way earlier. Yeah,
full PPR exactly. Too, which is
118 in this draft.
Yeah, we have him ranked.
We got Mason Taylor to come all the way back to us, by the way.
Ooh, yeah, all right.
I think that's probably the pick.
This is going to be a 3 tight end build.
Yeah,
but yeah, I definitely like that Mason Taylor pick.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, Crutches just said Chubb just went 131, and I got Scatterboo 132 at the turn.
Yeah.
I dare I say, Crutches, I think you made the right pick there.
All right. Probably done a receiver. We could go for our third tight end here if you wanted to. Or I've Ollie Gordon is sort of interesting to me with the Devin Achane injury.
Yeah, I like Ollie Gordon.
Should we do that?
Yeah. Let's go Gordon there.
Nice. All right.
It sounds a lot of the like stuff out of camp and coach speak on Jalen Wright has not been ideal. Brett Whitefield, who is our lead charter, he also does our draft guide, has always called Jalen Wright a blind person because he can't find the hole.
It's not great. Not ideal.
Yeah, that's not good. You can have all the physical traits, but if you don't know where to go, that's going to make playing running back in the NFL a little tough.
Yeah. The case for MHJ is that Vegas has Arizona as a top 10 scoring team, and MHJ is the wide receiver 1 on a very condensed offense. Yeah. GM B Spurf.
I think that's fair. K Sizzle, really interesting question with JCM skyrocketing up draft boards. Who's the one guy that you wished you got good value on? For me, it was Keenan Allen. Scott Barrett called this months ago that Keenan Allen was the best late round pick by a significant margin, and now he's going 7 rounds higher than he was back in the day. So yeah, I wish I saved almost all my drafts for August, but I wish I was drafting a little bit in June and July just to grab that sweet Keenan Allen CLV.
Yeah, I drafted some. I was like at right at 8% exposure when he signed with the Chargers. But I have chased him while playing. I think it's a great pick. Scott told me he was offended that I did not listen to him on Keenan. I was like, I did not remember that you said anything about Keenan Allen, but I believe him that he did. Actually, yeah, Egbuka was one that I was going to take purchases by draft capital versus period. Yeah. It has to be Trevion or Egbuka. Yeah, I do not have 20% plus. Egbuka is one that I'm certainly underweight to the field on, and yeah, that's probably the biggest one for me. That I'm just like, it seems obvious now. It was tough because it was like he's in a pretty crowded wide receiver room. I didn't think Godwin was going to be hurt to start the year. Does not feel crowded anymore. Jalen McMillan, yeah. So Egbuka probably the guy for me. I was probably drafting RJ Harvey over Trevion Henderson like 75% of the time when they're both available. Yeah. I regret that only from the standpoint of RJ Harvey has not moved up a ton. Like I'm still not sure. I still think it's about 50-50 who's actually going to be better for best ball this year. But from the standpoint of, I wish I had loaded up there and then I could be loading up RJ Harvey now. So I do wish I did that one also. But yeah, Egbuka to me, I think is the first name that comes to mind.
Yeah, we were actually talking about RJ Harvey versus Trevion earlier today, and I don't understand why RJ Harvey isn't getting steamed more. I feel like the 100-yard kickoff return contributed to a full round of ADP increase for Trevion, which is just that's a bit much. That's a bit much.
Do you want to go Harold Fannin here? Could take another running back if you like one.
Yeah, I'm good with Fannin. I can't say I love any of these running backs. Late round running back is always, I mean, once you get to this range, always pretty tough.
Yeah, like this is again, we talked about this. Like I think Sean Tucker is a good click, but I'm not like I want to jam Sean Tucker. It's more like I think he's a fine guy to work in there. Jarquez Hunter, same thing. None of these guys are standing out as like must-haves. So yeah, we go Harold Fannin.
I'm with you. Maybe Marshawn Lloyd learns to stretch.
We could do that.
I wouldn't necessarily argue for it.
We could do Dameon Pierce, actually. I guess we've got Woody Marks. We could double tap, though.
Yeah, I don't like, or I do like the double tap there. C-Rod's another decent option, I think.
He already went.
Oh, he did? Wow.
C-Rod went kind of early, yeah.
Yeah, let's go Dameon Pierce.
Yeah, where did C-Rod go? It was fairly early. Wait, running back is Green. There, 188. Not that early, I guess. That's a fair price, I think.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. I'm a bit confused why. I mean, I understand the argument that they must just love, C-Rod and JCM, but I'm a bit confused why Washington wants to get rid of Brian Robinson. Like they're talking about him as a potential cut candidate if they can't figure out a trade. Like they must really like C-Rod and JCM if that's the case.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know why either. But it does seem like he's a legitimate. Maybe he's making a stink in the locker room, doesn't like all the hype the others are getting. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that is the one thing to consider. That was another thing, we talked about in our projections meeting. Joe Dolan actually brought it up in regards to the Anthony Richardson thing. Is like there's, we're on the outside looking in, right? And so there's like a very logical way that we generally think about how these things should play out. But like these are also people. And people are very complicated and nuanced in the actions that they take and the way those actions are interpreted. So, there's always the potential that there's something happening there that we just have no idea about.
Yeah. All right. What are the? I'm getting notificated. Just feels as he knows it's not exciting. Okay, whatever. Ashton Genty, maybe more opportunities as a pass catcher. Nothing. No real news here. I thought I saw potential news popping in, but nothing exciting happening here.
Did you ever end up getting or lowering any of the Rams guys in your rankings because of the Stafford stuff? I think he's going to be fine, and I've kind of felt that way the whole time.
Yeah.
But it does seem like some people were really trying to sound the alarm on that, which is just a little strange to me, given that Stafford has played through an insane amount of injuries. He's the George Kittle of quarterbacks, where he just plays through everything and he's always beat up. It's like his whole thing.
But I guess the counterpoint to that would be it's his back, and like at some point there's nothing you can do. If your back is really in tough shape, like it doesn't matter how tough you are, like you're not going to be able to, as a quarterback trying to throw the ball, like you're just at some point you just can't play. And I think there is some risk that he gets hurt in season and does have to miss time. So I guess I kind of did, but like I moved them back to the point of like getting even exposure to them. So like Puka I had as the clear 7th overall. After the top 6, I would do Puka ahead of CMC. I stopped taking Puka ahead of CMC all the time. It was just kind of like, all right, I'll mix them in some, but I'm okay to get more Malik Neighbors, Nico Collins, mix in those guys. But I still often, like I still probably drafted about 8% Puka over that stretch. And Davante Adams was like a big target for me in the 3rd round, became more like I'll get him at the end of the 3rd round, but I'm not going to like reach to get him early. So I guess I did move them back a little bit.
Yeah, I've taken a good bit of Davante and Puka. I'm not too worried. I think it was Dr. Edwin Porras, who is our site doctor of physical therapy. He said they're hitting Stafford with the epidural, and I know us fantasy players don't talk to women, but if you've ever talked to a woman who's given birth, those are pretty magical things, I've heard.
And do they last for like 17, 18 weeks?
I guess you could just keep doing them. I'm not a doctor, but why not? Whatever it takes to get Davante Adams top 12 wide receiver season and Puka wide receiver 1 overall.
I'm also not a doctor, so I don't know why not. Maybe you can just do it. Maybe we can do it every day. All right, Jalen Coker is available here. I do like that click.
Yeah,
Dark Horse Hunter, if you like him. Vele. Oh, you want to go Vele? We could do that.
We could sneak in Cavante if he's still there.
Is he still there?
Noah Brown, I also think is a solid pick here. I know he's been dealing with
Turpin gone.
Stuff. Oh, all right, Coker it is. That's fine.
Oh, we got Coker. Okay,
I'm fine being a cokehead.
Yep, we are cokeheads on this stream. Sponsored by DraftKings. No, we like Jalen Coker.
Do not clip that.
This is a 2-7-8-3 build. We got Joe Burrow, Jonathan Taylor, Omarion Hampton, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Matthew Golden, Hunter Henry, Jerry Jeudy, Bo Nix, Zach Charbonnet, Christian Kirk, Marvin Mims, Darnell Mooney, Austin Eckler, Woody Marks, Mason Taylor, Ollie Gordon, Harold Fannin, Damian Pierce, and Jalen Coker. 2-7-8-3. I feel good about it. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, no, I like that too. I feel like I put my mark on that one, and I'm really glad I have 50% of the equity.
Yeah,
sleep easy at night.
Yeah, it's a good one. Look at this guy, Mathology, gifted 5 memberships to chat. So I can't see in my StreamYard does not show me who was gifted memberships. But let me look that up real quick. But yeah, thank you to Mathology, big part of the Flannelverse right now. And going forward. Appreciate it, Mathology. Let me see who get these. Chris Mazzone, K Sizzle, Hot Sizzle, Slapdick, and Sam Robinson. Welcome to the Flannelverse. Happy to have you. You can now check out the premium channels if you attach your YouTube to Discord. Check out the Flannelverse. You can get access to those premium channels. You can get access to the one video behind the paywall right now on Eliminator Strategy. But yeah, appreciate you, Mathology. Good to have some new members to the channel. You ready to join another one, Jake?
Yeah, I would love to. I think I'm probably only good for one more. Actually, let me send out a text and figure that out exactly.
Okay.
But I might be able to sneak 2 more in.
All right, I'm entering right now, and then you can figure it out. Cool either way.
Yeah, I appreciate you being so flexible, Neil. That's why the Flannelverse really is my home away from home. Neil's my favorite best ball unk.
Yeah. Am I the only best ball unk though? Or do you want to name some people that you like me better than as your favorite?
Well, unk is also an age-related term.
I know it is. I know that.
Yeah, okay. So then that makes me wonder, like, is anyone else even old enough to to garner the title?
Yeah.
I lean no.
I mean, I think there are people who are older than me that stream best ball. Probably. I'm trying to think if there are. I
There's
mean,
certainly not
Mathology is older than me. Oh, we got the 106. That is my favorite spot on the board.
Hell yeah.
Famously, a lot of people don't know, Mathology actually older than me
Wow.
by like less than a year. I think like maybe a month older than me. I don't even remember exactly.
So when you guys stream together, that's got to be the oldest.
I had
dual
EMAC
stream.
on. I had EMAC on a stream very briefly once on the best ball stream. That was the oldest, I'm sure. Even like we beat out all the like 3-mans, you know, like we're older than when Pete and Davis and Corraine streamed together.
That's incredible. I love that.
Jimmy, I don't do the music when I have somebody else on. I only do that for solo streams to fill the empty space. Here I'm counting on Jake to fill the empty space, the silences.
What music do you generally play, Neil?
I'll let you know. I'll play it for you. So I am a big fan of Into Space, and let me turn it down real quick so it's not just super loud.
Okay.
This is Into Space.
Okay, so I Googled this and it appears to be a game on the Google Play Store. Are these things related?
It is one of the 8 options in StreamYard. One of the 8 songs you can choose in StreamYard.
I see. Wow, that's quite the banger you got right there.
ATX is 55. He says he wants to come on. Yeah, chat. We do have some oldies in chat.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah. Pete, is this you? P. Warner? Pete said he was in the last one, and I never even figured out where he was. I see my guy Chris 41658 is here. I wonder if he sought out to be in the stream draft. I talked to him on Discord some. Have not talked with him in a while though. Old friend, another fellow Millie Maker winner.
Do you guys gather for like annual meetings?
Oh yeah, all the Millie Makers get together.
That's awesome.
Very prestigious.
Yeah. Sounds like it. That's a club that I hope to one day join. My problem though, Neil, is that outside of best ball, I really don't enter the contest very much.
It's hard to win if you don't enter the contest.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, that is probably your biggest downfall.
I'm assuming I know the answer to this, but why do you like the 106 so much?
Yeah, I think you do know the answer to this. It's because I think it's a pretty clear tier of the top 6 players.
Yeah.
I also think you basically always get somebody in the next tier at pick 19. Like you might need like one person to go off script, but you almost always get a player I really love at 19. And then at 30, you can often get Omarion Hampton or one of the elite quarterbacks. So yeah, it's just that combo of things. So I'm assuming Gibbs here. Gibbs would be my go-to. But if you wanted to go McCaffrey or something else.
Yeah, I definitely like Gibbs. Fine with CMC. Let's go Gibbs. I think Gibbs is the best bet here.
Yeah, I also am kind of underexposed to Gibbs, I think, because I have him ranked 6 and other people have him ranked higher. So I think I like to get him here where I can.
Yeah, I've seen some Gibbs 101 steam, people trying to make that argument. I don't really see it when there's a pretty reasonable chance he's at 50% of backfield XFP. Obviously, it'd be a really easy win for the new coordinator to just give the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs more. But Dan Campbell,
David Montgomery is pretty good too, though. I got to say, I think that David Montgomery probably underrated. Gibbs is better. I agree with that. But like,
fine. And I think like the other thing you need to consider with the Lions is that they scored the most points of any team in the last half decade. They averaged almost 34 points per game last year. There's going to be some regression there. Like this offense is going to get worse. And I think that probably hurts David Montgomery a good bit more than Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah. Montgomery got there largely on touchdowns last year. Jahmyr Gibbs, especially when the team is trailing, he's at about 65% of backfield receiving work, which is really, really nice if you don't anticipate them having the best offense of the last half decade again.
Yeah. Yep. What best ball tourney would you want to win? It's this one. The one that we are in right now would be the one that I want to win the most.
The one with the most money to first would be my preference.
Yeah.
Sounds like me and Crutches are on the same page.
Yeah.
And it's got the most entries, so it would make you feel like the coolest.
Yeah,
and you probably get the most street cred for winning the biggest tournament with the most money as well.
Yeah, I think
so
that's
you can
all
really
true.
brag about that on Twitter and stuff, which matters almost as much as the money, I would say, maybe more.
Oh, definitely more. The most important thing, all the clout you get. You don't get clout for winning DFS tournaments unless you win a lot of them. But best ball, you just have to win one, and people are like, that person's a genius.
Yeah, no one's really called me a genius for winning the early only mini max like 5 times in the last.
And that's BS. You should be called a genius for that. Brock Bowers, AJ Brown, Devin Achan, all here.
Let's go Bowers. I'd like a little more Bowers exposure in general. I'm mostly grabbing Achan in this range, but I already have a ton of Achan. I would assume you have a decent bit of Achan as well.
I have a fair amount, yeah.
Okay. Who are your biggest stands this year? Like, who are the guys you're the most exposed to right now?
JJ McCarthy, definitely one of them up there. I'm trying to like who are my stands that I like are intentional. Like I have a ton of Jalen Noel, but it's just like he goes so late. I'll often add him on. It's not really a huge stand that I'm like, this is a guy I feel like I need. I'm trying to think who I mean, Jordan Mason has been a pretty big stand for me, but now he's risen up a lot. Like I loved him at like pick 105. Now he's gotten to the point of kind of expensive. Sometimes he'll go before Aaron Jones, so it's a little bit tougher. Brock Bowers, I guess, is one of my biggest stands. I've got a ton of Brock Bowers because I click him here almost like anytime, and I've taken him as early as the 1-2 turn.
Yeah, that all makes a lot of sense. I'm trying to pull up my exposures here.
Yeah.
For me, right now it's Njoku, Tet, Harvey, Colston Loveland, Tillman, Waddle.
We are very different. I'm with you on Tet, but I think a lot of those are players that I'm probably underweight to the field on.
Really? Why aren't you taking Njoku? Do you just like other tight ends in that range, or maybe not taking tight ends?
I think it's again, I'm taking quarterbacks there.
Okay.
It's just where he's going. It's like, all right, this is where I'm starting to jam my quarterbacks. No, I think Njoku's a good pick. It's just I think I'm probably constructing my teams a little bit differently than you are.
Yeah, fair enough. I am largely drafting off of the lovely Fantasy Points rankings. So a lot of the guys that we are the highest on as a site, I'm getting a good bit of.
Nice. Trey McBride, that's the one consideration for me of like maybe we should go somewhere other than Bowers at 19 was sometimes Trey McBride will fall to the mid-third round, but it's fairly rare. But then that to me is the dream if you can get a fall on McBride. Jalen Hurts at 26 is Pete. Just you're trying to stack up Hurts with Saquon Barkley, get a little bit different flipping the board. That's interesting.
Yeah, I haven't looked at any correlations. I would imagine there's a bit of an inverse correlation between those two because they steal touchdowns from each other so much. But I mean, if the Eagles' offense is awesome, which it probably will be, I can't imagine it's too bad of an inverse correlation.
Yeah. Pete says correct. He's trying to flip the board, get a little bit different there. Oh, here's Chris. Probably loves the Achan fall there. I still can't believe he took Jefferson from me. Because he knows that I want Jefferson there.
Yeah, Neil, you're a bit of a Vikings homer. I wasn't surprised when you said JJ McCarthy.
Yeah,
number one stand. I do think JJ McCarthy is a fantastic pick, though.
So I'm usually Lamar here.
I would probably also go Lamar. If not Lamar, Devontae Adams or Evans, Kittle and JSN are fine. Lamar's my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Me too. That's a fun start right there. Gibbs, Bowers, Jackson. I mean, zero wide receivers through 3 rounds. But like I said, there are a lot of later receivers that I like, so I think we can make it work this year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think wide receivers deep going even into the 20th round. I mean, being able to get guys
me
like
too.
Vele, Noah Brown, Kavonte Turpin.
We just got Jalen Coker with the second to last pick in the last draft.
I mean, like those are fantastic picks. So, if you need to add a few more wide receivers and make it like a 9 wide receiver build, I think that's totally fine when there are plenty of great late round options.
Yeah. BP Colonna says hell of a wide receiver. By the way, Parker, You said you would stream with me in August. I totally forgot about that. I meant to reach out to you this week. He had said he'd be willing to stream some best ball this year, but didn't want to do it until August. And now we are in August, so we need to talk about BP Kelowna coming on for a stream.
Oh yeah, that would be must watch.
Yeah.
I'd absolutely love that.
We have the widest age gap of any streamers you'll see together.
Wow, that's
Kelowna.
Yeah, you should definitely make a big deal about that on Twitter when you advertise the stream. The age gap stream.
It's not the first time we streamed together, but yeah, we have not streamed best ball together.
How long before you get accused of grooming Parker into certain best ball picks?
Immediately, I'm sure. Okay, he couldn't have done it this week anyway. Good. All right. We'll be in touch. Closer we get to the start of the season, the more scared I get for all Miami players. I mean, I think that the Tyreek Hill stuff just is good for Jalen Waddle.
Have you been taking much Tyreek? He's been
been a
really
fade for
tough guy to. Yeah, I've largely been fading him too, but I mean, would anyone be surprised if he was just awesome again this year? Like, I get that, the signs are not pointing that direction, but
yeah,
it's a scary fade. It's one of those things.
Agreed.
A little bit.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. Nobody should be surprised if he's awesome again this year. I think still there's a pretty good, like the odds of him being just a complete bust are also higher than they've ever been.
Yeah, for sure. I'll answer this question after we pick.
Okay, yeah. All right. I'll take it off for a second.
Devontae's probably our best bet here. We don't have any receivers.
Oh yeah, Devontae Adams. That's a nice little fall there.
That is
for a zero wide receiver team. That's just a
43
auto click.
Yeah, I've taken him a good bit in near the end of round 3, so that's solid there. Yeah, mathology. So this is a fantastic question. I think only 2 or 3 people have ever asked me this, and this has been my profile picture for like the 4 or 5 years I've been doing fantasy stuff. Yeah, it's Rex Ryan. He was, I believe, the University of Cincinnati's defensive coordinator for like 1 year in 1999 or 98-ish. And I just think that's a really cool picture. And it's kind of funny. Like, Rex Ryan's kind of a funny guy, very famous for having like a crazy foot fetish, which I think is hilarious.
That is funny.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. I went to the University of Cincinnati, if you can't guess by my t-shirt and also my background flag.
Everything there.
Yeah.
And the lack of education. Sorry, go on.
Yes. Also that as well. So yeah, thank you, Mathology, for asking me that. That really warmed my heart. I feel seen.
I feel like I've been on more than 2 streams where somebody's asked that before. So I think you're lying when you say only 2 people have ever asked that before.
I'm pretty sure it's only ever happened on streams with you. So maybe it's just like the final verse, is paying very close attention to me and my Twitter profile.
Pete Warner says my pick is Joe Rogan and myself. Did you pick that one because you tower over him? I haven't seen the pick, but I just assume because Joe Rogan's like 5'4" or something.
That would be a good guy to pose next to seem really tall.
Yeah, you just like your stature.
Yeah, BS Spurf. Big game versus Nebraska this week. This is very true. It's all my dad has been talking about. He's jacked up for the Nebraska game. That was supposed to be in Indianapolis, I think, and then they moved it to Kansas City, which sucks because I probably would have gone to the one in Indianapolis. But I'll stop talking. I'll stop talking about my Bearcats because I know not exactly the most popular subject on a best ball stream.
I actually know nothing about University of Cincinnati other than some UFL player that you liked was on them.
Was it Devin Gray? I know I'm infamous for my week 1 Devin Gray projection in 2024.
Yeah.
I still lose sleep over that. Yeah, it's one of the biggest public schools in the country. Guy who built the Golden Gate Bridge went there, and so did Sauce Gardner. So
wow, okay.
Cool. And the Kelsey brothers. I probably should have said.
Oh, did they really? That's crazy.
Yeah. Travis actually got suspended for a full year for smoking weed, and Jason went to bat. Yeah, Jason went to bat for him and kept him on the team, or else he'd be like selling insurance right now.
That's hilarious. Do you want to go Zay Flowers for the stack?
Yeah. I'm
probably need a receiver, here. So it makes sense. Yeah. How did I not know that story? Travis Kelce got suspended in college for smoking weed.
I believe Butch Jones was the head coach. And I mean, college offenses don't really use their tight ends. So he never had any sort of crazy college stats for us.
Right.
I mean, obviously an amazing athlete. But yeah, both the Kelsey brothers. There's I think there's an Athletic article about their time at the University of Cincinnati that's really interesting because they were both total hooligans. I think they interviewed some of their former roommates where it was yeah, one day we came home and there was a body-sized hole through the wall because Jason threw Travis through an entire wall.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. I think it's crazy that one school produced the greatest center of all time, the greatest tight end of all time, and of course the greatest corner of all time in Sauce Gardner. Do not try to fact check me on any of those statements because it'll be in one ear, out the other. I will not even respond.
Yeah. Pete says, I love it. The picture with Joe Rogan, because it causes some polarizing reactions. I believe that. Yeah. I'm sure those are the most polarized. Yeah, I don't listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. To me, he's I like people who are open-minded, but then you can go too far. Once you're having Alex Jones on regularly, then I'm like, all right, you're taking it too far with the open-mindedness.
He's like a chameleon with his guests, where he's always just wow,
which is a good quality, I think, for a
Oh yeah, he has good questions.
In general, a good quality. Maybe not always
a listener, but
yeah.
Okay, I have thoughts that obviously. Oh shit. Okay, well,
I figured that was one of our thoughts that we agreed on for sure.
Yeah, I shouldn't have even mentioned that I have thoughts.
Just don't even tell me that you're thinking, Jake. I want that head to be clear until we're on the board.
It's been really bad.
Until we're on the clock.
We're both just staring intently.
I mean, come on, Jake. Oh, did it to us. All right, I really wanted Jalen Waddle.
That was a disastrous 2-pick sequence.
It was. Those were the dream picks for us. Chris Olave is there. We could go Debo here if you like him. We could take Pacheco.
Yeah, I like either Debo or Pacheco here. I feel like we should probably add a running back.
Do you like Pacheco better than Pollard?
I'd go Pollard. Yeah, I'd go Pollard over Pacheco. They're very close to me.
Me too. I have them very. Yeah,
I have a good bit of Pollard at this point, just because he's kind of the only running back that I like from pick say 68 through 100 ish.
Yeah. Corey Kiner, who I don't even know who Corey Kiner is.
Corey Kiner was the Bearcats starting running back for the last couple of years. We've been very bad at football, so I don't really recognize a lot of the most recent seasons. Yeah, Corey Kiner, unfortunately high ankle sprain, but I do think he'll make, they'll probably put him on IR, but I do think he'll make the 49ers roster, especially after Patrick Taylor got put on season-ending IR earlier today.
Mathology showing his age here. 99 Bearcats. Jake was 4 at the time.
I'm sure you remember. I was actually 2. I'm sure you remember the 99 Bearcat squad very well. Mathology. I could probably text my dad right now and he'd rattle off
Wait, you were actually 2 years old at the time.
I was born in 97.
Oh my God. I said it as a joke, and then after you said it, I was like, wait, that's actual real math. You were literally 2 years old. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so that's I'm really, really dating myself. I feel like do you think I'm too young for the Flannelverse, Neil?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, the two biggest faces of the Flannelverse right now are myself and Mathology, who are both 42, 43-year-old men. But you're probably top 4 or 5. As far as amount of time spent on you might even be third. Amount of time spent doing Flannelverse. No, Adam would be third. Adam, Ship My Money would be third because we did a bunch of DFS shows, but you're up there. Actually, you've done more than Mathology to this point.
One of my
favorite
fantasy related stream moments ever was when you had Ship My Money on Playing for Keeps.
Yeah.
And you asked him what the most he's ever spent at a strip club is, and he said, I believe $15,000. And you just went, are you serious? That was awesome. I thought that was really great.
I would love to continue this conversation, but this is a sponsored stream, so we're going to move on from that conversation. I forgot it. I forgot that happened.
Sorry for steering things off the rails here.
No, that's
I'll keep it PG for the Flannelverse.
Yeah. For this week in the Flannelverse. Jawan Jennings is available here. Jordan Addison, both picks I really like.
Yeah, those are both great picks. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. The Addison stack is probably a little easier if we want to grab McCarthy. I know you have a lot
You know that I want to grab McCarthy.
All right. Well, there we have it.
We might. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do Edison. Good. In.
I had this popped into my head before I got distracted, but on Tony Pollard, I think a big part of the reason that I think he's a really strong pick is one, his quarterback last year, Will Levis, Mason Rudolph. So that doesn't really lend itself to the offense being good. By yards before contact per attempt, the Titans were the third worst team in the NFL. So all you really need is a little bit of regression. And then all of a sudden, Pollard's looking really good. And we know if Tajay Spears is hurt, I mean, this is a bit like a Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet sort of backfield. If Tajay Spears is out, the workload for Pollard is going to be awesome.
Yep.
So I know like he's probably going to miss the first few weeks of the season. And, who knows what Spears' availability will be later in the year when it really matters. But I do think that that contingent upside is really, really strong for a guy like Tony Pollard.
Yep. Yeah, Spears, what do you think the odds are that Spears misses week 1?
It sounds like fairly high. Have there been any recent updates on that? Let's see.
Yeah, in my mind, it's like 50-50 that he misses week 1, but I don't know what the latest is.
That's probably a good call. Last coach speak was on the 10th.
Okay.
Callahan said Spears is probably going to miss some time, a couple weeks at least. I mean, it's a high ankle, so those are generally in the 4 to 6 week range, which I would imagine would make him pretty questionable for weeks 1 and 2.
Yeah, because then he probably has to ramp up a little bit too.
Yeah, and generally you see a efficiency drop off in those first few weeks where they return to play.
Yeah. Coach has said the backup running back role was still up for grabs, so I think Spears is still a bit away. I will not be up until 3 a.m. tonight, Davis. This is one that I'm going to stream. I think I'm going to stream for 4 hours right now, most likely. But I have to be up early tomorrow for a Davis Maddock pre-recorded. I don't think we're streaming live, but we're doing something before my stream tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming.
How early is
streaming
Davis
or recording? Not that early, because Davis knows me well enough to say, could you do something before 1 p.m. on this day? And so I was like, yes, I can do that. So I think either 11 or noon tomorrow, my time, Central Time.
All right. Can we see who's available here, Neil?
Oh yeah, my bad. I kind of like Jalen Warren. Jaden Reed is here. Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah, we're a little weak at running back. I'd probably lean Warren. Reed is fine. I don't. So when it comes to Jaden Reed, I understand the upside case. Like he's obviously a very, very good football player. But I have absolutely no faith that he's going to be on the field for more than 65 or 70% of routes. Like the 2 wide receiver set thing, I actually think it's never going to happen for him. And I hate to say it because he's ridiculously good at football. But I feel like he's a decent bet to beat ADP, just not by as much as some may suggest.
Yeah. My confusion there is, Jake, I keep thinking that we are still at the turn in the 2 hole. I keep forgetting this is a new draft and we're right in the middle of the board. This happened multiple times already in this draft that I've been like, oh shit, we're on the board.
Yeah. That can happen, you get a little older. Sometimes you forget your draft position mid-draft.
It's true, exactly.
It's all right though.
It's not ideal. Jake.
Oh, this is a great question. Neil, how many yards could you get versus average middle schoolers? 8th graders, I would imagine. Because a huge difference physically between 8th graders and 6th graders.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, if you're going 6th graders, like yards per carry, I feel like Neil Orfield would beast on some 8th graders, but am I wrong here?
Well,
the injury risk would be pretty high.
Let's start with me asking you the question, because this is a question that came up on the Swolecast today, and Davis had to answer that question. They're doing an around the horn thing on the Swolecast. I want you to guess how many yards Davis guessed that he would get in a game against middle schoolers.
Oh, in a game? So he's getting like a bell cow workload?
Yeah, bell cow workload for a game as a running
production?
back against middle schoolers. Yep.
150 yards.
Davis said 400. 400 yards was Davis's number.
I feel like I don't know if I'd gain 400. that seems like a lot. I feel like you'd have to be a really strong athlete to push for 400. Like 8th graders are like decently sized and can be pretty athletic. And they're probably like, a lot of them are probably like running around a lot more than me. And I'm like a pretty active adult.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I want to point out how cocky you are, that you're like that confident that you do better than Davis. You say, I don't think I would do 400.
I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how big Davis is, but like, I'm like,
Davis is a muscle hamster. He's
oh
short,
yeah.
but
Oh,
strong.
okay. Shit. Well, maybe 400
So
is
built to be a running back. So Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, Cooper Kupp, all on the board.
Downs is
we could just take JJ McCarthy here if you wanted to.
My lean. Yeah, fine with McCarthy. I feel like McCarthy will come back to us. I can feel it in my bones.
The downside there is the guy on the turn took Hawkinson, so I'm no. We'll take the risk. We'll take the risk there. So I am not that confident that I could get that. I think that people are underestimating middle schoolers. I think 8th graders. I think, like, I remember myself in 7th grade. I was 5'10", I guess I was only like 160, 170 probably, but I was like a pretty big kid. So you get a bunch of those kids out there. Modern day Neil, I think it's like 100 yards. I think I could beat up on those middle school kids, but like I don't think I would dominate them. I think 20-year-old Neil would have gotten a lot more.
Oh,
like when I was in shape, when I was like
20-year-old
I was
Neil,
a runner.
I would definitely take the over on 400 yards against 8th graders.
I was fast. I was super strong back then. Like I was like built to be a running back at that age. Now I'm just a fat old man. Like I'm not getting a ton of yards. Like I'm stronger than them, but they're going to be able to. I'm not going to be faster than them, so they're going to be able to catch me and then just gang up on me.
Yeah, I also feel like because of the size difference, something you have to account for is all the 8th graders are going to go low. Like they're going to be hitting you like 180-pound corners tackle in the NFL, which is just diving for your knees. And like, I mean, I'm sure, as best ball streamers that we're all keeping ourselves in decent shape and stretching and all that. But like a lot of contact to the lower body, I think that could introduce some potential problems for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun though. I think to get some carries against like an 8th grade football team.
Oh, I'd enjoy it for sure.
I think like ethically, it's a bit ambiguous if you just like steamroll like a 13-year-old boy and like put him in the dirt in front of his parents. But I bet it'd feel really good.
I think there's a massive difference between. So in my mind, middle school is 6th grade to 8th grade. That's what it was when I was my middle school. Some people think it's just 7th and 8th. There's a massive difference between 6th graders and 8th graders. Like
huge.
6th graders, I could go 400 yards. 8th graders are like, some of them are full grown. Like some of them are going to be taller than me. They're going to be like have a little bit of muscle, and there's just going to be enough of them to be able to stop me. So yeah, I think, but like 6th graders, I would just roll over them.
Oh, 6th grade. I don't know if I would. Like they might push me out of bounds, but I don't know if they would like be able to bring me down unless there's like 5 or 6 kids. Hanging on. You have to wear a full gorilla costume. I don't know if that really changes much.
It would be too hot though. I would just overheat.
Oh yeah, it's on a turf field on like 110-degree day in Houston, Texas, and you're in a gorilla costume. That would change things. Yeah, I think like. Obviously, there are 8th graders who are like on the extreme end where they're basically like full-grown men. But I was imagining an average 8th grade football team, like a team that's going to go like 5-5 this regular season.
All right.
Not like future IMG Academy recruits,
Yep. All right, we're coming back on the board. 1, 3, 4. 1 is the build so far. Drake May goes. That was my backup plan. All right. Get our guy, JJ McCarthy.
Let's go.
Love to see it.
That's fantastic. Neil, what sport do you think you would be the most dominant against 8th graders in?
Modern day Neil or historical Neil? I mean, cross country. The clear answer, if it's historical Neil, is just none of them, or maybe like some of the best in the country would be faster than me. But like at my peak, if I were running 5 miles against middle schoolers, I would absolutely destroy them. But let's discount that as a sport. I actually think it would be football. I was a pretty good
Yeah.
receiver back in my day. I
Okay.
want to say basketball because I think basketball was probably it was a sport that I spent the most time on, that I was like probably the most skilled at, but I always had really good hands and like timing. So like I was kind of just a naturally very good receiver. And so I think my size advantage there may have been a little bit better. I think they would beat me at like baseball, like just like your average
Oh
middle
yeah.
school. Like they're just better than me at baseball, but I think like basketball, football, I could have dominated them.
It's pretty incredible watching the Little League World Series. Like those kids are good. I would love to see like a regular adult man try to play on one of those teams because like those kids throw hard and like
Yeah,
are very coordinated and know what they're doing. Um,
I
yeah,
would
I
get
think
crushed. Yeah,
it would be football for me as well. I think basketball's tough because when you're in 8th grade, you get the height before you get the muscle, which is something that I'd really
yeah.
take advantage of in football. But in basketball, I'd only be okay. I'm a pretty good athlete. Like I can, I can't dunk, but I can dunk a volleyball. I know that's not like saying much, but
I
it's
mean, that's
close.
saying something.
Yeah, it's more than nothing. And I also feel like I'm good at shooting free throws and threes. So I feel like I'd fare okay in basketball, but there'd probably still be some kid who's like 6'6" and prevents me from getting into the paint very well.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, it's football. Football's the best for this hypothetical, I think.
I modern day me, I would not do well. Like I would just like I'm not athletic enough to compete in basketball or football. Maybe basketball I could still,
Mhm.
because I still think I have some of the skills of just like being able to contort my body in ways where they can't get to the ball, that kind of stuff. I can probably still shoot fine. But I say this as like I don't think I've shot a basketball in 5 years. Like it's just like I don't play basketball anymore. So it's very possible the skill is all gone. I actually could dunk back in the day.
Ooh,
So
very
it was like kind of like I could kind of dunk. I could like slam it on. I had my hoop at home was 9 feet 10 inches. I could like really slam it. I had
okay.
like one or two like really good, like I think like unequivocal dunks on a full 10 foot hoop at the high school. So I don't know. I think I was probably not even like dribbling up. It was like run up and like jump and like time it just
Yeah,
perfectly.
yeah. No, yeah, pretty much same for me when I'm trying to get that
Yeah,
volleyball to go down. I do agree with C Money. Shooting a basketball is a lot like riding a bike. I don't think you'd lose.
yeah,
You'd lose too
probably
much.
still could.
Shahid is like a great pick here. Loveland's also really strong.
We have Bowers, so
That's
probably
true.
Shahid
That
is
would
more
pretty
of a
much
need.
wrap up our tight end room. But yeah, Shahid is. I'm more than fine with Shahid. I think that there's a case to be made, and I want to say like I don't think this is the most likely thing, but I think there's a decent case to be made that Shahid could outscore Olave this year. If you just look at their games with Carr, Shahid outscored Olave in I believe 4 of those 5 games.
Yeah.
I have the note here somewhere, and was also better in a variety of efficiency stats last year. Um,
Is Loveland falling right now?
I feel like he's generally been in this like 120s range all off season, and I feel like he's been a pretty strong value, um, throughout that.
Yeah.
He is, I think you can obviously get into trouble just prescribing the role from the old offense and saying like this is the Sam Laporta role, but I do think it's going to be pretty close to the Sam Laporta role, and it's important to remember that Loveland is a notably better prospect than Laporta was. So
Yeah. Yep.
I'm definitely a big fan of the Loveland pick here.
How tall are you, Neil? That's pretty impressive. I am 5'11". I also have really long arms, and I back in the day when I was really serious about basketball, I did a program called Air Alert 3, which was video cassette tapes that you put in, and it would tell you about like how jumping exercise. So I would do like
Uh,
one leg jumps up onto platforms, and then like do those over and over. Like I was really committed to trying to jump higher. It was pretty funny in retrospect. I would like they had you like massage your knees in between exercises. I'm trying to remember some of the things I did. All I remember though is like jumping up on platforms, on steps, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was very committed to being able to jump higher at that time. And like I said, I have really like 6'3" wingspan or something like that. And then I think my
Very
shoulders are
nice.
high, so it's like my arms are long, but then also my shoulders are just high. So I just like people who are my height, I like put my arm up and I tower over them, with the arm included.
So Pathora said, I'll note this really quick before we pick.
We
That
are not on yet.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. I'll actually wait. I'll wait on this,
Okay.
so that we can mentally prepare. Uh,
Luther Burden goes. All right. Trevor Lawrence, a little bit of a fall. Tootin is there.
Tootin's fine. Lawrence would be fine.
Godwin falling. I don't know if you like him here. Dylan Sampson, Ray
okay.
Davis.
I'm a little worried he just won't be able to reclaim that slot role from Igbuka. If he
want
gets
to go
out,
Bird? Should we just go Tootin?
Yeah. I think that's the move.
Okay.
But yeah, so Pathora, I do agree that I think in best ball, both Olave and Shaheed are pretty close. Over the last 2 seasons, they've scored over 18 fantasy points at the exact same rate in 29% of their games. Neither has a game over 25 fantasy points. So we really haven't seen like a massive ceiling from either guy. I think Shaheed has a bit more splash plays, which is probably why people view the ceiling as being a little bit higher, which may be true. But in a what's going to be a pretty bad offense, they're going to be competing for the number 1 pick. I don't necessarily know that there are going to be any huge like 35-point spike weeks out of either of these guys.
Yeah, maybe not, especially with these quarterbacks. I do remember the and one mixtapes. Yeah,
those were sick.
Men of a certain age
down to their ankles.
Yeah,
just doing crazy dribble moves.
Yeah. I should have played baseball. I also think because I listened to a Keith Law. I used to listen to Keith Law podcasts, and apparently pitchers are better off. Like people think of like square shoulders being what you need to like throw really fast, but it's actually like you want to be like more like this, so like not very square shoulders. I never could throw that well. Like I throw fine because I've always been an athlete, but like I can't throw super fast. I think I'm not built quite right for that, sadly. Jake, are you a fast thrower?
Not really. I my arm strength is probably my worst athletic trait. Like I doubt I could throw a football further than like 35 or 40 yards.
Yeah, me neither.
And I would be seriously surprised if I could throw a baseball faster than like 55 miles an hour.
I could throw faster than that. I actually at one point had a baseball that like had the built-in speedometer.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. Romeo Dobbs, Brandon Ayuk, Dalton Kincaid, Jake Ferguson. We're at 2-4-5-1.
Let's go Dobbs here.
I like Dobbs.
Yeah, another good candidate to beat ADP, just not by a ton.
Yeah, 150 feels good there. High floor, decent ceiling.
Yeah.
Tennis, I was pretty my family, everybody plays tennis in my family. Like my parents, not anymore. They just stopped, but like they played for years in doubles leagues. Both of my brothers were the captains of the tennis team. And I was pretty good, but I just never took it that seriously. I also am ambidextrous, which my dad always he hated it that I would switch hands midpoint to like if the ball's over there, I'd switch my left hand and hit it back lefty. But I was pretty good at it. He was just he was convinced that it was wrong. He shouldn't do it. But I think it gave me more range. But I was pretty good, but I think it was mostly just athleticism.
If only they let you play with 2 rackets, Neil. You could have been
right?
The greatest tennis player of all time.
Could have been amazing. Could have been a champion.
You ever play pickleball, Neil? That's like the ultimate sport for guys your age.
Yeah, everybody seems to be getting into pickleball. I feel like I'd hurt myself probably. But no, I have not played recently. I played 20 years ago. I have played before, but yeah, not recently.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's one of those sports where it can be as hard or as easy as you want it to be. Like if you want to go really hard on the pickleball court, you can really get a good sweat going, but you can also just kind of walk it and you know it's fine. A little bit of movement. I feel neutral towards pickleball.
Yeah. Darts, your arms are closer to the board. that is true.
That can't be that big of an advantage.
Yeah.
Why
I'm not precise enough for darts.
Player ever.
Yeah. Who is?
I was asking wouldn't Wemby be
the best Wemby,
of all time? Yeah.
Unreal, unfair.
Touch the board.
Yeah. That's funny. I was at the Fantasy Baseball World Championship, and let's make our pick first. I'll tell the story.
Rachaad White, I think, is a pretty solid option here. also like Palmer and Tillman.
You're not buying the Brandon Ayuk pick 163. Still not into it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we can take. My eyes glossed over him for whatever reason. I'd be fine with Ayuk there, depending on what position you want to go.
We do also have 6 receivers. Or I was going to say maybe Tillman, since I don't really have much, but we could just go White too if that's your
yeah. I mean,
pick.
Receivers so deep, like over the next 5 or 6 rounds, that I really don't mind just grabbing a running back. That's where it gets thin. Is like those 18, 19, 20th round running back options are tough.
Yeah. Played senior softball one game and blew out your hammy. Oh. Yeah, my butt gets super sore the first game of every softball season. My butt just gets cramps and hurts so much the next day. Yeah, it's tough as you age. So I was at the Fantasy Baseball World Championship DraftKings this weekend as a guest, and we went to the first night. There was a I don't know, welcoming event at the what was it called? Fight Club. It was at Fight Club in Boston, and there were dartboards all over. So we were playing darts, and Andy from SaberSim was like, Neil, you're from Minnesota. You're probably good at darts, right? I bet you're good at darts. And I was like, no, I never played darts. And he was convinced, being Minnesota, it's in my DNA. I'm going to be good at darts. And then the first game, 6 of us playing, I did win the first game of darts. And he was like, see, you're comparing yourself to other people from Minnesota, but you're actually you're good at darts. I see you just won the game, or you're good at darts. You just don't think so because you're used to playing against. I didn't win another game after that. I won the first one. He was just convinced no, you're from Minnesota, so you're good at darts. I was like, I don't play darts. It's not something that I do. I'm sure all these other people here probably play darts more frequently than I do. I have played, but I'm not it was pretty funny though, having the conversation of yeah, you're from Minnesota. I bet you're good at darts.
Is it possible he was just messing with you, trying to maybe get in your head a little bit?
No, because it was literally the next day we went to the game at Fenway. He brought it up again. He was like, see, I knew you were good at darts.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. But I'm not that good at I'm fine. I'm not bad at darts, but I'm certainly not. I think I'm 50-50 against every average player. I'll win some. I'll have to get lucky. Wando Robinson, Torrey Horton, Stafford. I guess we do have Devonta Adams if we want to go Stafford.
Yeah, I don't hate the Stafford pick, rounding out our quarterback room. We don't need 3 quarterbacks though.
We don't.
Yeah, I guess Wan'Dale or Roshan would probably be my lean.
Gross. I'm not taking Roshan. Not touching Roshan right now. I could do Will Shipley.
Oh, well, yeah. Hill? At this pick, no, yeah, Wan'Dale's fine.
I think Roshan's going to get cut. I mean, I have no idea, but just zero coach speak on Roshan lately.
Yeah, but what if it's just because he's working in silence?
He could be. He could be working in silence.
Just are you high on Kyle? How do you say his last name?
Manungai.
Manungai. I always my brain plays tricks on me whenever I read his last name.
He's more of a another one of those guys that I'm not building my team around trying to get him. I'll mix him in the later rounds. Okay. I think he's fine. He might be the RB2 there. It was not a great prospect according to the people that I trust for prospecting work. They all seem to be pretty low on him. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm high on him, but I'll take some. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, if you think Roshan's going to get cut, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with, then that makes him pop a little bit. It'll be really interesting to see how this committee shakes out, because it's hard to see Swift earning more than 60% of backfield XFP.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for the Bears and the Jaguars. I feel like those are the 2 teams that I'm the most interested in seeing in week 1. Jaguars almost entirely because of Travis Hunter, and the Bears almost entirely because of Ben Johnson. Do you have any teams you're particularly excited about this year, Neil? Please don't say the Vikings.
I was going to say the Minnesota Vikings are the team that I'm most in. But yeah, outside of the Vikings, I think who I'm just the most invested in. I would say the Jaguars are up there. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys pretty interesting to me. Yeah, what other teams am I drafting a ton of? Jaguars are certainly up there because I draft a lot of BTJ. I draft a lot of Hunter. I draft a lot of Tootin, the running backs in general.
The range of outcomes on Hunter is just incredible to think about. Like,
Yeah, it's really
he
fun.
is just such an interesting player to move around in your mind.
The Texans, sadly, are a team that I'm pretty invested in, particularly the passing game.
Yeah,
Nico
it'll be
Collins, Jaden Higgins.
Yeah, no more Bobby Slowick holding him back. It'll be interesting to see because I mean, CJ Stroud last year was being drafted in like the Joe Burrow range, and now he's totally forgotten.
Torrey Horton, Diami Brown, Jalen Wright. We could take a shot there. I don't know.
Diami Brown's probably my favorite. I don't think you can convince me to draft Jalen Wright.
Okay. Will Shipley's there if you like him.
I do like Will Shipley. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, we got Diami Brown. Shoot.
Almost.
Yeah, we tried. We tried.
That's okay, Neil.
Yeah,
I forgive you.
He did say you did say he was your favorite, so it's not really my fault.
I've taken a lot of Diami Brown. I think he's a really strong pick. Obviously, we all know, every offense, when an offensive coordinator leaves, all those roles are going to be the exact same in the new offense, which means, Neil, Diami Brown is Mike Evans now.
Ooh, Diami Brown is Mike. I like that. Pick 187, Mike Evans feels pretty good to me.
Yeah, I bet it does. Not a lot of people have thought about that.
Yeah. I think Roshan becomes the Montgomery in Chicago. Lots of people think that. Go Easy Card says we should have taken Stafford for the one old quarterback, one young quarterback streamer. That's funny.
Can save that for the Parker draft.
Crystal ball time. Whose final stat line do you want to see? So that's been a recurring question. If you could know one player's stat line ahead of the season, which player would it be?
There's probably a better answer than this, but I have to say Travis Hunter.
It's a fun one.
I need to know, how much is this guy going to play? Like, is he really going to finish the year with 1,100 snaps? How cool would that be?
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I like Davis's answer has been Christian McCaffrey. I think that's a pretty good one, just because he could be like clearly dominant, or he could play 3 games.
Yeah, that's probably the best answer. I think you'd want to pick a guy who's going higher than Travis Hunter, just because those picks are so much more valuable.
Yeah. This is the first time I've actually been asked. I have to think about who would be the one player. But it's not like you can't just say, like, I want to know the highest scoring tight end. You got to say a specific player.
Yeah.
By the way, I think this is the first time the Sidekick has recommended Savion Williams to me. And it's pretty early. So has there been some bullishness on Savion Williams? Is he getting a bigger role than we're expecting? Or not sure what's going on there. I'd be fine with doing it if you want to. Keandre Lambert-Smith. Roshan
I don't have shares of either of those guys. I would be fine with either one. Lambert-Smith probably has a better chance at playing time, would be my assumption.
Yeah, with QJ hurt right now.
Yeah. I mean, you got to figure that the upside is more capped for any Packers wide receiver, given that only Devontae Adams in 2021 has broken out of the LaFleur wide receiver by committee.
Yeah.
Goofiness.
Okay, crystal ball. I also really I want to know Jordan Mason's stat line. That's a big one for me.
Ooh, that's a good one. Where are you at on that backfield split? I remember earlier you said that you were taking a lot of him.
Yeah,
105. But I don't know. I have a hard time seeing him like outscoring Aaron Jones, assuming Aaron Jones stays healthy, which is probably a bigger assumption than for most running backs.
I think so. I think it could be a split backfield where he just gets most of the goal line work. So I think that is the bet on Jordan Mason. But yeah, it is also just the awesome contingent upside if anything were to happen to Aaron Jones. Yeah. So I'm still really high on Jordan Mason. Actually, in this draft, I very much regretted that we took Jaylen Warren before I saw that Jordan Mason was still there. Although I like Jaylen Warren too. I like Jordan Mason better on half PPR sites than full PPR. So I don't really mind not getting him as much here where it's full PPR. But yeah, I'm still high on him. Still would have taken him there at pick 92 ahead of Jaylen Warren if I had realized he was there. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really tough question for me. I like the Stafford answer that Charles just gave because there is a lot contingent.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about the offense in general. I think if you know Stafford's stats. That's a good one.
Whose final stat line do you think matters the least? You don't need to see.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Because it's the 101. I guess if it's really bad, then it's like you're mixing in other players there and fading the 101. So maybe I'm wrong, but like it cannot be good enough to like he's already the 101.
Yeah, and it's like it's the same risk for him as it is all the other good players, right? Like he just gets hurt and it's basically a zero.
Savion Williams, Jalen Coker, Pat Fryermuth. We do need another tight end at some point.
Yeah, Fryermuth is probably our best bet here.
Let's do it. All right, we have two more rounds. We're so far at a 3-5-6-3 build. Oh, sorry, we're at 2-5-9-2-5-9-2. Damn, I read Chris's team. No, we are 2-5-9-2. That's very, very different builds. Man, it's still suggesting receivers to us when we already have 9. I guess we didn't start with any receivers, so that's why. Because we started going Gibbs, Bowers, Lamar before we went Devontae Adams, Zay Flowers. Then we go back to Tony Pollard, Jordan Addison, Jalen Warren. It's an interesting team we got here.
Yeah, it is. I'm thinking we round this out with 1 running back, 1 wide receiver.
Yep. That works.
Is that what you're thinking too? Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Cool.
Smart. Kyle Monunga goes.
Here's a question in the chat. This guy was offered a trade. He said he'd be sending Omari and Hampton for Pacheco and Bryce Young. I would much rather have Omari and Hampton.
Yeah, absolutely don't take that deal.
Yeah.
Unless you're like completely dead at like, is this? I assume this is just a redraft league. Like Bryce Young is just replacement level. Yeah, I'm not even considering that deal.
Yeah. I mean, even in a 16 team league, you could probably find like similar quarterback production on the wire unless everyone's carrying 2. Yeah. Hampton could be, a mid to high end RB1 this year. So that's not something I would give up without a king's ransom.
Yeah. I mean, Pacheco could be too. It's just like where they're valued right now. Like you should be able to get more than Pacheco and Bryce Young. So if you're willing to deal Omari and Hampton, like the values just don't line up there.
Yeah. One of the craziest things about redraft leagues is that you can just fleece people in trades. It doesn't work for me because all my friends assume if I propose a trade that I know something that they don't. But if you're like a more normal person, it probably is pretty easy to just like basically assault somebody on the trade block and take all their money.
Jake, you can only imagine how good it was in like the early 2000s to fleece people.
It had to be
before
crazy.
People were like, now there's just rankings are so readily available. You can just go to Keep Trade Cut or whatever. Like it's so easy to check your work, like check your rankings. Back then it was like just the Wild West. I loved it so much. All right. We want 1 receiver, 1 running back.
I mean, like a guy like Savion will be there for us.
Yeah. Is there anybody else you like? Trey Tucker, Tutu Atwell?
Atwell's fine. You want to look at running back here instead?
Sure. We're running out of time.
I like Sean Tucker here.
Let's do that.
He'd probably be my favorite. Yeah.
All right. Okay. We got Sean Tucker. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. So we're looking good. 2-6-9-2. We could also do another tight end here.
But we have Brock Bowers, Neil. So outside of his bye week, I really don't think we need another tight end. And we already got the replacement tight end, Pat Fryermuth.
Yeah, as Methodology says, usually 2-for-1s. You want to be on the side getting just 1 player. You don't want to be on the side that's getting 2. That's a good question. What other streamer would you like a piece of their entire best ball portfolio? Define a streamer. Like how many streams do they need to do?
Yeah.
Because it would just be shady advice if like, because he's going to have $150,000 in his portfolio. If I could get that.
Is he really drafting that many teams?
Yeah,
that's incredible. Yeah, shady advice would be up there. I'm blanking on the name. He won a bunch of showdowns in 2023 XFL. You know who I'm thinking of?
That's not BP Kelowna?
No, it's he does work with like Karain.
Run the Sims? Oh, with Karain. Sacrilegious.
Yes. He would probably be my second pick after Shady Advice, but I don't know how much he's playing. The
He's playing a
size of
lot.
the
I know he's playing a
portfolio
lot.
would matter a lot, but if we're just going by like projected ROI, it would probably be Sacrilegious and Shady Advice would be the top two. But I don't know if either of them stream enough to be called streamers. They just appear.
He says they have to have their own stream, so I would assume they don't count because they're on Karain's. I mean, it might be Karain. I don't know. I think there's a lot of really sharp streamers out there.
There are.
Karain, like he's using the sidekick, which I think is pretty powerful. Pete, I'd love to have, Pete's going to draft a lot of really sharp streamers out there. Davis,
my boy Ryan Heath, he has the
Ryan does too.
Fantasy Points best ball stream, which I believe
I am trying to think of who is going to be different from me. Like I do think like Karain, because he's using the sidekick. My picks are going to be sort of colored by using the sidekick, so probably it would not be Karain just because we'd be like a lot of overlap. Although like there are some spots where I have IKB'd off a lot. I think Ryan would be different from me a lot, so that would be good for diversifying my portfolio.
Yeah, if I'm trying to diversify, Ryan would probably be too similar to me, so I'd probably want to lean more into like a Karain or a Sacrilegious.
Yeah, and I think I'd be more similar to those guys. Pete, I actually think would be pretty different from me. I'm trying to think Davis's. I'm trying to think Davis's biggest stands. Because Davis does well. He's doing the flat exposure thing though, which is
isn't
also
his
what I
bid
do.
Drafting 8% of every player and then
I mean, it's obviously a bit. It's not. He's not actually going to.
I love that as a joke.
It's a good bit. It's a good bit.
I think that's fantastic. And I mean, roster construction does matter a lot. You could put together an interesting portfolio drafting 8% of everybody.
Do we want Tutu here? I'll pull up all the receivers here. So
Savion. I'm wondering if I'm like missing something with Savion, given that he's been at the top of the sidekick for 3 rounds. But Tutu would probably be my favorite. Noah Brown's another good one. Turpin's another good one.
Do you want to go Turpin instead of Tutu?
I mean, yeah, you know my answer.
All right, let's move Turpin up. Oh, damn it! Well, we got Tutu. All right, that's
fair enough. Both fine. Knowing Stafford's stat line would be another that'd be big for Tutu as well. Because I mean, with Garoppolo, he's probably totally off the board for me.
Yeah. Okay, sack does count. Just go easy cards because he.
Yeah, I think he would be an easy pick then. That is
it. Savion is a week 17 bring back for our Baltimore stack.
Okay, I mean, I'm not too upset about missing a guy who's probably capped at like 47% of routes in week 17 though.
Probably, you never know. He also could be used as a running back. I don't know. He's a guy that early on I drafted a little bit. Have not much recently. All right, the final team here. Lamar Jackson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Tony Pollard, Devontae Adams, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, Brock Bowers, Jalen Warren, Josh Downs, J.J. McCarthy, Rashid Shaheed, Bashal Tutin, Romeo Dobbs, Rashad White, Wan'Dale Robinson, Dammy Brown, Keandre Lambert-Smith, Pat Freiermuth, Sean Tucker, and Tutu Atwell. It's a unique 2-6-10-2 build. But I think it works. For not drafting any receivers in the first 3 rounds, we made up for it with volume.
Yeah, I like that. I like that team a lot. I feel like we probably drafted the first and second place team in this tournament.
For sure.
That's $3 million secured. That's pretty strong, I'd say, for just a Tuesday afternoon in August.
Yep. Do they make tutus in flannel? It's funny. Probably. My guess would be yes. They probably make everything in flannel. All right, Jake, what's it going to be? Are you doing another draft with me? Am I on my own?
I will stick around for another draft. There's a chance I would have to leave early if that's okay. But I think I can swing this. My very real and very beautiful girlfriend probably won't be home for another 40 or so minutes. I think that's enough time to get one more of these in.
Okay.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom though and get more water.
You know what? I'm also gonna run to the bathroom. So I'm gonna play my Piss Boys piss break video right now. And you and I will run to the bathroom and we'll be back in. Yeah, I made a video for this exact scenario for going to the bathroom.
All right. I should have known that.
So we will be back in 2 minutes after our bathroom break. This is a Piss Boys piss break. You know what's cooler than 2 wide receivers through 2 rounds? 3 wide receivers through 3 rounds.
I had an accident. Hey, look everybody, Billy peed his pants.
Of course I peed my pants. Everybody my age pees their pants. It's the coolest. You ain't cool unless you pee your pants.
Hey man, Ernie pees pants too. All right.
If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Greg, why don't you go piss your pants again? That was like 8 years ago, asshole. People don't forget.
This is a Piss Boys Piss Break. You know what's cooler than 2 wide receivers through 2 rounds? 3 wide receivers through 3 rounds. I couldn't find where to take off the video. You're enjoying it, Jake?
That was awesome. I was cracking up. Your delivery on Piss Boys Piss Break is really, really good. You might have a future in Hollywood if this best ball stuff doesn't work out for you, Neil.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good delivery. Also, really let people know what's going on. I've been meaning to adjust the video to at the end say have me again. They're saying if the video repeats, it means I'm still pissing, and then just to let people know because it does repeat. Like it's just not quite long enough.
That's fantastic. That's really good. I'm glad you came so prepared. Neil, yeah. You could be the oldest man to pee his pants while streaming 150 BBMs, according to WFN Warehouse. And
that's true. I could beat my record from yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Joke. That's a little joke there for you. All right, we're at pick 5 here.
Hell yeah.
Mike Gallagher in the 4-hole from ETR. Pete
He's
back
one of the guys
here in the 2-hole.
Does projections for them, right? He's on there.
He does NBA content. I know.
Oh, okay. I know they have a pretty hefty projections team.
Charles Withers, I think he was in one of our last drafts. But 5-hole, not a bad spot. Not quite as good as 6, but not bad. In my opinion. What do you think of the 5-hole?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. To me, it's pretty similar to 6. I don't know if I have a strong preference between the two. Like I said, I mean, I think this was a couple hours ago when we started. 2 through 6 are like the same to me.
WFN, this is a running not bit with me and Jake, with me accusing him of having an imaginary girlfriend.
Yeah, no one
wants going on for years now.
No one wants to believe that I have a beautiful girlfriend who's a neuroscientist who also watches spring football with me.
Yeah, and wants to move where you can snowboard more. I'm sure that's real.
Yeah. But here's the thing: is that she goes to a different school, and that's why you've never met her.
Go Easy Cards, as I thought it got banned, referring to the video, the Piss Boys Piss Break. I played it, and literally the same night, the first time I played the video, got the this video is now being monetized by the NFL. Essentially, it's like but it was not a strike. It was not a strike against the channel. It was just I had, if the video is monetized, now the NFL is monetizing the video instead of me, which is fine with me. They're not going to steal they can only get the money from YouTube. They're not going to get the money from anywhere else. So I'm like, whatever. I'll give up those $10. But so what I did is I removed the commentary. So I'm more hopeful that it's not going to get flagged because I removed the commentary from the NFL segments. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with how any of that works, but that's interesting.
Me neither.
Neil,
no idea.
Before we hit our pick, your camera's a little blurry.
Oh shit, really? All right. Let's
Oh.
I'm not looking at myself because I'm looking at the screen. Let me look at it. Oh yeah, I'm super blurry. Okay. I'll make my pick and then I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Saquon here is fine. Jettis here is fine. Gibbs is fine. I haven't taken much Saquon. I don't know about you. But
yeah, I've taken some.
Great pick.
All right, Saquon goes. So we get Justin Jefferson. Love to see it.
Yeah, more than fine with that.
All right, now I will figure out my camera. All right, let's see.
While Neil figures this out, Charles asked where he can find me. So I'm on Twitter at Jake Tribbey. I tweet a good amount of stupid jokes and also some analysis, and then all of my super serious, really good analysis is over at fantasypoints.com, where currently I'm working on a couple articles on player consistency. So one will be consistency by production. The other will be consistency by usage using expected fantasy points. Both of those should be out early next week. I have production done. I'm working on usage right now. I think those will be really helpful articles in terms of differentiating what players are good for best ball versus redraft. That's typically one of the number one things that I like to look at for that sort of analysis. And then in season, once again, all my work will be over at fantasypoints.com. I'll be doing several shows. I think one with Neil, midweek, the cage match. I'll be doing a DFS early look video with Thomas Tipple, who does Dynasty Points. And then I will also be doing a couple Friday night shows, Cashing Points. I believe the plan is for me to host this year. So that'll be with me, Scott, and I believe High Low. And that will be like our general DFS show. And then I will also host another show with Ryan Heath, which is more of like a general fantasy football show, but is primarily focused on underdog battle royale drafts.
Nice.
And in terms of written content in season, I will mostly just be ghostwriting for Scott Barrett. So if you read Scott Barrett's big DFS slate breakdown, that's something that I have a pretty heavy hand in.
It's actually Jake.
There are some weeks where it's more me. If Scott's ever like sick, it might be like 70% me. But it is Scott's article. Scott's name is on it, and Scott will always have the final say. Granted, there are times where I tell him, you can't publish this. I believe it was last year in like week 5. He wanted to call Bo Melton the best play of the slate.
Oh, God.
I said, you can't do this. He might run 8 routes.
Good for you. Stand up.
Back. And yeah, Bo Melton did not have a good game, believe it or not. But so that's where you can find me, fantasypoints.com, and then on Twitter at Jake Tribbey. Especially if you like kind of dumb fantasy football related jokes. I feel like I'm a great Twitter follow.
Also, if you want to see how Sugar Daddy season is going, good person to follow.
I've been dropping updates on Sugar Daddy season. Is the Flannelverse familiar with the greatest currency to ever exist, Neil? Or do we need
I have not done a ton of selling of Sugar Daddy season in the Flannelverse.
Okay. Yeah. So that's something maybe we could talk about a little more after this pick.
Yeah, let's make our pick.
Okay.
Brock Bowers, AJ Brown, Devin Achane.
All are great. We already have taken a Bowers share. Do you want to go with a Brown or an Achane here?
Achane might be more unique with Jefferson.
Okay.
I'd be fine with Brown too. If you want to go Brown, I'm open to whatever.
Let's go Achane. I think Achane just has a little bit better spike week potential. I actually wrote about Brown in one of my consistency articles. So the main takeaway was that AJ Brown was great for best ball in 2023, and he was pushing a 23% advance rate. This past season, only a 13% advance rate, and a big part of that was the Eagles' pass volume was ridiculously low. I believe they were at a 48% pass rate over the full season, and then Saquon Barkley stole a ton of touchdown upside. Obviously, a lot of that rushing work went to him, and a big part of why they were so run heavy was because of Saquon. The defense was also great. So in my head, when you're picking AJ Brown, you're betting on some sort of regression between Saquon Barkley and or the Eagles defense, which I think is pretty likely because the Eagles defense was fantastic. Saquon Barkley posted the 8th most rushing yards of all time. Regression there is certainly possible, but I also think there's another world where, AJ Brown kind of repeats what he did last year and doesn't necessarily crack 25 fantasy points for you, which is tough in best ball. In redraft, you're just starting him every week, and you don't even think about it.
Yep. All right, we are back on the clock. T. Higgins goes. Lamar Jackson is there for us again if we want it. Otherwise, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Tyreek Hill.
This is tough. I like Adams. He probably comes back to us. Lamar's. It's hard not to say Lamar's the best pick.
I got no issue just taking Lamar again personally. If Omari and Hampton had been, that was the one we took HM, which made me think like, okay, we're probably not going to want to do Omari and Hampton at the next turn, but he goes at 23 anyway. And also, you're not as much of a bye week bro as I am, so maybe not an issue.
Yeah, the bye. Wow, Travion pick 30.
Pick 30.
Yeah, that is ahead of Jaden Daniels. That is pretty wild. Yeah, Neil, you're a big time bye week bro. Generally,
I'm trying to be less so this year. I'm trying to be a little bit less so, less strict about it. So I will have some shares of guys like HN and Omar and Hampton. But yeah, it's still a factor for me.
Yeah, I feel like the way that I avoid being too hard of a bye week bro is, I told you this pre-show. Generally like my girlfriend will go to bed and then I'll sit on my computer. I'll do a few fantasy drafts. I might enter like a $5 poker tournament or whatever, and I'll just goof off for a few hours. So my bye week process is I scroll through my team after about, 13, 14 rounds. And then I go, oh shit, I took 2 quarterbacks with the same bye week and I should probably do something about that because I wasn't really paying attention. So that's how you avoid being a bye week bro. If anyone's worried about becoming one.
Yeah. It's too late for me. I know all the bye weeks. I see it. It's the first thing I see before every click. I don't see names. I just see bye weeks.
That's incredible. That you don't see names and only see bye weeks.
Yeah, I don't see positions. I see bye weeks, and that's all I see.
I guess you're a true bye week bro.
Yeah, I am the ultimate bye week bro.
Yeah, Charles, you are correct. AJ Brown missed it was 4 games in the last season. One of those was week 18 though, so really only 3. The Eagles had an early bye, but still the volume was way down. Like if you just look at targets per game, and that's just a function of, like I said, their pass rate dropping from, I believe it was 58% in 23 to 48%, which is one of the lowest marks you will see in professional football over the last decade or so.
Garrett, that's quite a fall for Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I feel like we got.
I'm not even a big Wilson guy, but like to get him here is kind of nuts. You agree with the pick?
Oh yeah. I think. And Neil, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but everything that I've seen on best ball, and I love taking my fair share of stance against the market, but when you have a guy who falls 10 spots or a full round past ADP, it's almost always a great bet to just take him. In the later rounds, that doesn't matter quite as much, but in these first 8 or 10 rounds, getting a guy 10 or 12 picks after ADP is generally pretty great value.
Yeah, no, that is generally, I think, what the research has shown is that like the teams that do the best are generally picking up a lot of ADP value as they go. So yeah, I like scooping up that value as it comes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Neil, I can take a quick moment here to educate everybody on Sugar Daddy season.
Okay,
it's the greatest meme coin ever invented. So a guy who won 6 Millionaire Makers told us all about this a few weeks ago, and the thesis is that it's Sugar Daddy season. So that's most of it. I believe also "fuck you" it's Sugar Daddy season is part of the thesis as well.
that is part of the thesis.
Yeah, and then it also got rug pulled a couple days ago. So that's not great, but that means it's cheaper now than it was before. So
buy an opportunity, potentially.
Not financial advice, obviously, but I think it's easy to see like Devon Achane single game upside here in this meme coin. It's done in the last 24 hours, $0 of trading volume.
Okay.
So you could really adjust the chart by just putting in even $10, Neil, could potentially raise the price.
$0
Yeah.
of trading volume in 24 hours. That's insane, isn't it? Like I don't really pay attention to crypto. But that seems like pretty nuts.
That's not good. Since it was rug pulled, it has not been doing much volume at all, but it could come back. And our 6-time millionaire maker winner is live streaming from the Sugar Daddy season account every day. And
is he still doing so?
I think so. And he seems like very calm, cool, and collected on these live streams. Yeah. So okay, that's enough of that.
There you go. There's the pitch from Jake on Sugar Daddy.
Yeah, and I will update my Twitter on how that coin's doing if anything materially changes. Whoa.
Zay, do we want to go Zay Flowers here?
Yeah. Why not grab another stack? Yeah, I'm totally good.
That's the pick. All right, good. We're doing it. We have a pretty nice start here as Rabona is mentioning. He says, tight to see Garrett Wilson go at 44. You did also Jay Jettas and Achan. Yeah, I'm feeling good about this one. Yeah, we're getting some value on this one. Yeah, although Hunter goes at 55, the dream is to have Hunter come all the way back to us because he's been. So this person is clearly not scared off by the Q tag.
That would be amazing. Well, I mean, with Hunter, Neil, it's multifaceted. You could be scared off by the Q tag. You could be scared off by him potentially playing lots of defense and not that much offense. Or even worse, Neil, him getting a Q tag later on in the year because he's playing so much defense and might have to tackle Derrick Henry even.
That is true.
Yes.
Could happen.
It could. Ryan
wish
Heath
you had said this before that person drafted him.
Yeah. I know that we've talked a decent bit about Travis Hunter, but if you want like a full 3,000 words on why Travis Hunter actually isn't a very risky pick relative to other players, Ryan Heath wrote a fantastic article titled Travis Hunter Isn't as Risky as You Think. That's available over on fantasypoints.com. I think that's free too. A lot of Ryan's work is behind the paywall because it's just too damn good to make free. But the Travis Hunter piece was some fantastic stuff by him, and I think outlines all the reasons why Travis Hunter is a really strong round 5, round 6 pick.
Has Scott come back around to Travis Hunter at all?
He has a bit.
I thought
so. He was most bearish in like late July. That was when he was me, Scott, and Ryan have a chat, and me and Ryan were talking up Hunter, and I think Scott said that he's like the worst possible fantasy pick right now, and he's backed off that a bit. I think he's starting to see the light. And Scott Barrett will win over $900,000 if Travis Hunter wins MVP, which you can get at 300 to 1 on DraftKings. I believe that is still up. Pretty much everywhere else it's 100 to 1. And look, like betting any non-quarterback to win MVP is almost always a fool's errand, right? Like you're just going to lose every time. But when it's a guy who plays 2 positions and just
on a team that could take a big step forward. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Who has like a potentially fantastic coach, could have a fantastic offense, could push for double-digit wins and make the playoffs. I think that bet at 300 to 1 is pretty good. And it's one that I've made myself. I would only win about $60,000 if Travis Hunter won MVP, but yeah, I know it's maybe if Sugar Daddy season goes up a little bit, I can afford some more.
Buy a little bit more
Hunter MVP tickets.
Olave, Jennings, Judy's
Pollard
is there if we want to go a second.
Yeah, Judy or Pollard would be my take here.
I'd say let's go Pollard because I feel like the running backs drop off more than
we'll have plenty more opportunities at wide receiver.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, we're doing Pollard.
Charles, I don't think Travis Hunter will be the wide receiver 1 on the Jags just because Brian Thomas is so good. But I do think that's in the range of outcomes. Like it is possible that Travis Hunter ends up being a better wide receiver than Brian Thomas. One of the most encouraging notes for Travis Hunter was that, so he was held out of the second preseason game. In the first preseason game, Brett Whitefield noted he basically only ran slants. And Brett Whitefield kind of said this could be like potentially like a Michael Thomas rookie year type of role where he pushes for, say, 80 or 90 receptions, which would obviously be amazing if he's also playing 70% of the snaps on defense. And like we outlined, Neil, like if Jacksonville wins 10 games, Travis Hunter catches 90 passes, hits 1,000 receiving yards, and has a couple pick sixes, all of a sudden, if none of Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Mahomes, any of those guys like have a monster year, he's in the MVP discussion.
Oh yeah. And Scott is almost winning $1 million. Not quite.
That would be so
almost.
sick. I really hope if that happens that it like goes to his head and
it would for sure go to his head. Come on. Can you imagine?
Totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would
fun to see.
Yeah, I feel like he would never stop mentioning that.
Jawan Jennings, that was the pick I wanted there. Jordan Addison is here. Aaron Jones, another for a full PPR I like. By ADP, these are the top.
I am good with either. I'm kind of leaning Jones because I feel like we've said throughout these drafts, rounds 8 through 20 are pretty solid for wide receiver.
Yeah. All right, we're at 1-3-3-0. Nice looking team.
Rabona King can't get over Garrett Wilson going 44th in a PPR format. Have you considered that Justin Fields is throwing in passes? Because I think the rest of the draft room might have maybe a little too much.
Yeah. I'm not super high on Garrett Wilson. He's not a guy that I'm like targeting heavily. But yeah, just like when he falls to 44, to me, that was a pretty slam dunk pick. So I agree with him on that front, even though I'm not super high on him.
Yeah, for sure. Have you been taking much Justin Fields? I feel like he's a pretty solid pick for best ball. It's just the stack's not particularly tempting. This could be a team where we go, we grab a share though.
Yeah, I would not mind. I draft a bit of Justin Fields. Okay. He's a guy that I'll take naked. So yeah, even if he fell to us at 101, I think I'd be very tempted. Probably not at our next pick, but depends on what's there. Be willing to. But we also already have Lamar Jackson, so we don't need like to force it with unstacked. I guess he would be stacked. Never mind. We could do it 92 if you wanted to.
I'm not in love with it. Yeah, we'll see who else is there, but that could be different. I mean, or that could be decent. I think the flex eligible guys in this range, none of them are super appealing. So can't fault anybody for just grabbing quarterbacks here.
I'm trying to figure out what go is it. You only see buys and you have a week 6 buy already. What does it matter if it's week 6? Do you mean that we have 2? Oh, we have 2, but they're both the Vikings, so we're stacking up the Vikings. Like I'm not trying to like completely have like 18 different buys. That's not even possible. Just don't want to have like overly done with the bye weeks.
That would be incredible if you were such a bye week bro that you just had to turn off the draft after your 14th pick. Or no, it's 5 through 14, right? So after like round 9, you'd have to turn off the draft and be like, I can't take this anymore.
It'd be rough. It'd be tough.
Overlapping bye weeks.
See you later, Mythology. Enjoy your beach volleyball.
Oh my gosh, Neil, we've gotten asked about a week 1 DFS stack. I'm outrageously excited for week 1 DFS.
Me too.
Okay, so if you're looking at cheap guys, the Joe Flacco, Judy, Tillman, or Joe Flacco, Judy, and Njoku stack, or Tillman and Njoku, pick your favorite combo, or all 3, is going to be like really, really cheap. I actually wrote an article about this that is free to read if you head over to fantasypoints.com or just Google like 2025 week 1 DFS early look. That should it should pop up. But yeah, there's the best part about week 1 is that pricing is super, super loose. So there are like, you can make fantastic teams with basically everyone you want in week 1. One of the most fun weeks to play DFS all year.
Thoughts on Mark Andrews for the double stack?
I love that. I think that's great, especially with Likely's a little beat up, and I think you can kind of throw out last year for Mark Andrews that offseason car crash, and he had I'm trying to remember what injury he had. He had an offseason surgery as well, if I remember correctly.
Do you have List Frank surgery?
Yeah, I believe you're correct about that. Yeah, he was much better in the second half of the year, and I think this year you'll kind of see him return to form.
Yeah. Oh, just trying to do a joke. I see. No, I just didn't understand that it was a joke. It was because you brought up week 6 buys too before, and I was like, wait, what is the week 6 thing? Why do I care about? Okay, you're just joking. Got it.
This is my cat. I like to get him on stream when I can. His name's Lil Bebo.
Oh, hi, Lil Bebo.
Yeah, he's a little pissed off right now. He wants dinner, but his mom feeds him dinner is the thing.
Gosh,
So,
I feel the exact same way. I'm a little bit pissed off. I want dinner.
Oh, yeah. I'm also getting a little hungry, so I definitely understand how he's feeling.
Yeah.
But Neil, I know you rescued your dog, which I think is very, very admirable. We just found this guy outside, and he was actually very nice, and so we let him inside, and he continued to be nice, so he gets to stay.
So you got yours by theft.
Well, that's the thing, is that he was not anyone's cat. He just sort of appeared and was domesticated somehow.
Okay, you just out of thin air. This guy.
Yeah, like he wasn't a feral cat, so I'm not like, we don't know what his history is, which is maybe the most interesting thing about him. Ambiguous past. Yeah.
Fields does go here at 95.
Yeah.
Pete did not want us to have nice things, but there are a lot of nice things we can still have, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can we see who's available here?
Pittman is there if you want to lean into the Josh Downs injury. Jaden Reed's still there. I guess you're not high on Jaden Reed.
Not particularly, but I can be sold on Reed.
J.K. Dobbins, if you just want to bet on the Denver running game.
Ugh.
That's a no.
I don't really see it with
Shaheed. We could just take a quarterback with either Drake May or JJ McCarthy.
Let's go Drake May. I like Drake May a lot in this range. Like I said, I think he's going to run. I think he's going to run a lot more this year. That is, all the rumors from New England have been, and a lot of the reporting from New England have suggested that.
Yeah, and it's also now we've got the bring back with Garrett Wilson already for week 17.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Pete Warner realized he just realized he has 2 week 9 bye quarterbacks. See, that's me. That's me when I draft at like 1 a.m.
I meant bad karma though for stealing a quarterback. That's what you get, man.
Right.
That sucks though.
But like I said, he's copying my strategy of just
not paying attention at all.
Like, oh shit.
It's true. Yep. I would love to get some barbecue and watch Math spike some volleyballs.
Is Mathology a big volleyball guy?
I didn't even know that he played volleyball until just now when he said he's going to play volleyball. So I don't know how often he plays. I know he's in men's league basketball. He told me that last night.
Ooh, nice. He might if he's playing volleyball and basketball, he might have some height to him. One would assume. I played some rec volleyball. It's really fun. We play sand 4v4. It's a good time. Nice casual thing and really good workout because we play 3 games in an hour. So you play like over 100 points of volleyball in an hour. So a lot of movement there. It's nice.
Are you a net player? What's your best?
Yeah. I'm not like that good. I'm probably one of the best people in the league at blocking. I'm not very good at spiking. I just don't know what it is, but the coordination of like coming down on a spike isn't good.
It's all about timing. Yeah, you need really good timing for it.
Yeah, it's not quite there. It's gotten better, but it's just not quite there for me. The blocks are there though. I'm good for a couple blocks a game.
Nice. That's fun. I like playing at the net. Or I did back when I was younger and played volleyball. It's been a while.
That's the most fun way to play. I wanna jump up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Like I used to like go to a resort with family friends every year for like decades, and now we stopped doing that. We stopped being invited about a decade ago when they sold the resort, or they privatized the resort. So now we haven't, and it's like I have not played volleyball probably since then. So it's probably been 10 years. Very sad.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
got to get back out there, Neil. I mean, there's
I
probably
know.
only
I loved it. It was fun.
6 weeks a year in Minnesota where you could reasonably go outside and play volleyball.
Yeah. There's more. It's actually maybe like 6 months, I think. So we are built out for a Viking stack. We've got Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones, but it feels a little weird to go 3 quarterbacks this early. I like Christian Kirk again.
Okay, I would probably prefer Mooney, but I'm
No,
good.
Mooney is more likely to fall though.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I think he's continuing to fall right now.
Yeah, we can go Kirk, and then I mean, if either McCarthy or Mooney make it back to us, they would both be okay picks.
Okay, I'll move Mooney ahead of McCarthy because I know that'll be your preference. But yeah, I think that's I feel good about this 2-2-3-4-1 team so far.
Yeah, that does feel good. Pretty balanced so far. Rabona King asks, any chance Rodriguez is the guy in Washington and not JCM? I mean, I think there's a fairly reasonable chance of that. I would imagine it's a gross committee though between Eckler, JCM, and C-Rod. I don't know that I really see a bell cow emerging here, but I'm curious what your take is, Neil.
Yeah, so I spent a good amount of time last night arguing. I don't know if debating with Ship My Money in DMs because he has been completely out on JCM.
Okay.
And I told him this. I'm like, I feel like your take on JCM is you want him to not be the guy because you want to bet against all the fantasy football nerds, and he just like has like a thing against fantasy football analysts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I feel like this is mostly that you just want all the fantasy football analysts to be wrong. But also he was making some strong. Like he's like, I really think it's more likely to be Rodriguez than JCM. And I can't tell how much it was wishcasting. I do think it's like pretty 50-50 between those two. Like I would be surprised if Eckler has much more of a role than his pass catching role, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I actually think they're like, I'm no longer buying JCM because he's going too early, in my opinion, for his like the odds that he is the bell cow. I have started buying Rodriguez in some drafts, but now we're seeing Rodriguez go in like the 15th round, and now that's a little bit rich for me also. So
yeah.
So to answer the question, yeah, I think it's certainly a possibility. But I'm probably not chasing them up too much. Like maybe the 15th, 16th round is fine, but I don't know. What are you are you buying anybody from that backfield?
I mean, I probably want a little exposure to both JCM and C-Rod, but I'm not really super eager to take either guy. Like I said, I think my base case here is that this is going to be a relatively gross committee, and I think most of the fantasy scoring is going to go through Jaden Daniels anyway.
Interesting. Somebody's going to score fantasy points, right? Like somebody's probably going to.
Yes, that is true.
Be better than like an 18th round ADP would be my guess. But now where JCM is going, it is like to the point where things could work out in a way where none of them are great picks. I think. Like I think it could be. So I'm up for buying like Eckler. I really like at cost right now. I'm up for buying some C-Rod if he falls to the 18th, 19th round. I'll take C-Rod there. JCM, I don't think I'm going to chase him up into the 9th, 10th round. That's just I have too many. I'm also like way over the market on JCM because I was buying him a lot in the 17th, 18th round.
Yeah, maybe I should be a bit more bullish just in general. This was the 11th most productive backfield last year by fantasy points scored. So there's definitely some juice there. It's just I have a hard time deciphering who the better upside bet is.
I feel like to me JCM probably the better upside bet just because we like he was really good in his one game last year in college. If he does like we don't know what he could be, and he was like two years ago averaged like over 6 yards per carry. Also, Adam made the argument that he just didn't play for real colleges. Doesn't mean that much. He hasn't been that great in the preseason. Yeah. But I don't know. Rodriguez also has not had that much of a chance. So maybe the upside is there too.
Yeah, that's true. What if it just ends up being Eckler? What if it turns out they love Eckler, and we're back to 2019 Austin Eckler?
That would be
that's
fun.
Not going to happen.
I'll have a lot of Eckler, so I'd be okay with that. But
yeah,
I'm not seeing that. Braylon Allen shooting up boards a little bit.
Did you know he's only 21 years old, Neil?
He's got the rest of his life ahead of him.
Yeah. That's so much potential in that young man.
That's the Davis Maddox line. He's got the rest of his life relating to Braylon Allen, which I think is funny.
That is a good line. I like that a lot. Scadaboo, I think, would be a pretty good pick here. Oh, I shouldn't.
Jake,
Shit.
what, you just do not worry. Okay, all right, we get there.
The
All
curse
right,
is
all right.
broken. I'm good to talk now.
You can talk as much as you want.
Hell yeah. That was all it
Yeah.
took was 3 drafts in a row where we lost Travis Hunter because of my stupid mouth.
Yeah. No, that's pretty awesome getting Scadaboo at 140. Take that all day.
Oh yeah.
Kyle, I did answer this one in chat already. I think I saw him spamming this in other channels earlier. Do you keep Josh Allen or Derrick Henry in a keep? If you can only keep one, it's Josh Allen. Like he's got the longer time frame ahead of him in his career.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's 31, and I get like he's defied the age curves kind of over and over again. I mean, Ryan Heath wrote a fantastic article about age curves last year, where he kind of noted that Derrick Henry was a potential loser through the analysis, through the lens of age curves, and he got clowned on for that. I think everyone's scared because like 31-year-old running backs don't tend to be guys that you want to pick. In fact, those are the guys that you want to bet on falling off. Obviously, Derrick Henry is a Hall of Fame caliber, like generational running back, but here in the next year or two, we probably all realize that he's not the Derrick Henry that we grew up with, and that's that. Like the cliff will come for him, like it comes for everybody, and it'll probably be a little sooner than later because he's 31.
Which is super young, but not for an NFL player, not for an NFL running back, turns out.
Yeah, it is. It is funny looking at, like, I went to a minor league baseball game. We've got a team here in Augusta, and every single player on both teams was 24 or younger. And I was just like, oh man, it is.
You're getting old, Jake.
It is over for me. Yeah.
Old man Jake Tribbey.
Yeah. That's like I said, Neil, it comes for all of us. So
comes for all of us eventually.
Even me, even a beautiful young man like myself.
How sad. How sad.
Yeah, it is so sad.
All right, we're at 2451. Kyle Williams is a suggestion, the sidekick. We don't have to do that if you don't want to. Jaden Blue is there. Ray Davis. Hunter Henry. I know you like Henry.
Yeah, I like Henry the most out of these options.
Tyjae Spears, if you like him. Dylan Sampson.
Samson's fine. I definitely like taking A. Brown's running back. Let's go with Henry for now. Where are you at on Judkins? I feel like he's a toughish assessment, but probably the favorite to be leading this backfield, especially in the playoff weeks.
I'm pretty out on Judkins. I've been he's somebody that I've been like pretty and I still have like 10% because I drafted a ton before all this stuff happened. I'd like to see him fall, and I was after the Chargers were dropped, when I was on the slow draft, I did a stream where I did all my slow picks where he was at like pick 150 or later. It's like I'll jam that. I'll take him at 150. So if he falls back to that range, I'd be back into it. I don't know if we're going to see that kind of fall for Judkins again. I don't know. It's a tough click for me for a guy who is not signed, has not been with the team, so he's not practicing. He's not like learning the schemes, anything like that. I don't know. I'd be pretty surprised if he's doing anything early. I still think there's a really good chance that he gets suspended by the team or on the commissioner's exempt list by the NFL.
The team's not going to suspend him, buddy. It's the Cleveland Browns.
Good point. The commissioner's exempt, but they haven't signed him, so like there is something going on there. They signed Isaiah Bond and they did not sign Judkins.
Yeah, I think they'll get a deal done though. I'd be pretty surprised if that lasted much longer, but yeah, no, I'm with you. There is still a bit of a suspension risk there. I think it's pretty negated. My take is I think, and I don't feel super strongly about this, but I think Jerome Ford might just end up being the best pick there. Jerome Ford was very efficient last season. He's a home run hitter, and he also ranked top 12 in missed tackles forced per attempt, which is one of the best running backs, or one of the best metrics that we have for just overall running back skill. Judkins obviously really strong prospect, but there's a chance Jerome Ford just doesn't cede much ground to either Judkins or Sampson. So I have been taking a little bit of Ford, but I'm trying to get exposure to all three guys. Also a chance that this backfield ends up being total shit because they throw the ball 70% of the time and don't score any points.
So that is the funny thing is I've drafted a lot of it. I am a pretty big bull on Jerome Ford also, and I think it could just end up being like everybody is terrible. So I'm Okay. Jerome Ford should be there. It was between Jerome Ford and Kyle Williams for me with that pick. We could take Romeo Dobbs or somebody else instead.
Well, I mean,
but
Neil,
I
I just laid out the case. Let's go Jerome Ford.
wait, did he go? Did I miss that he
Oh,
went?
shit.
Wait, let me sort by ADP.
You faked me out.
I thought he was still there, but
I'm
he is not.
distraught.
We could go Romeo Dobbs or Josh Palmer.
Ooh, Palmer. Let's go Palmer. Always a tough sell to draft any
Ford went at
bill.
129. Okay, never mind.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, always a tough sell to draft any bill because the whole roster is just wide receiver threes. But Josh Palmer's a good player. And, I think they won't fully settle on like an 11 personnel grouping, but I think him and Keon Coleman and Shakir will be, pretty easily the guys that you see get the most routes, and they'll all be close to full-time roles.
Are you worried that Gabe Davis is going to sign there and muddle things up?
No, I don't think I've ever lost
that's the
sleep
latest
over
rumor.
Gabe Davis in my entire life.
Even after he scored 4 touchdowns or whatever in a playoff week.
What was crazy about that was that Scott Barrett was all over Gabe Davis that week. I will never forget that.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like big on Gabe Davis, and he scored like 55 fantasy points.
It was insane. Yeah.
Yeah, that was what an incredible game that was. I mean, that has to be one of the greatest games in NFL history, and Gabe Davis was a crucial part.
Yeah.
But doesn't he to me, Gabe Davis screams Pittsburgh Steeler.
That would not be shocking to me at all. I think
Right?
he just also visited with them, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe he did. But it's just like you got DK Metcalf, you got Gabe Davis on the outside, you get your 2 tight ends, you give the ball to Caleb Johnson, you gain 3 yards. Like that's awesome
every time.
if you're
Yeah.
Arthur Smith. Yeah,
he would love it. Yeah, the ideal, ideal team for Arthur Smith.
Yeah, the bigger guys you can get out there, the better.
I do want to point out, Charles says Jalen McMillan in the 12th. That's an interesting team because I feel like this is somebody who's following the news because they're going to croskey-merritt, Jerome Ford, but then I think they forgot what the news was on Jalen McMillan. It's like, what happened there?
Well, I'm curious, like, I haven't heard any of the Twitter doctors, and I haven't heard anything from our
We're on the clock, by the way. Do we want Hollywood Brown? It's a nice little fall on Hollywood. Or Woody Marks.
Let's go with the value on Brown. I'd be fine with Woody Marks too.
Let's go with Hollywood Brown. So it's not much of an ADP fall, but like he's back at practice and he's been falling already. So I think it's a good pick there. Okay.
But I was just going to say, I haven't heard any Twitter doctors talk about like what's the average return to play for a neck sprain. That seems like the kind of thing where I would imagine there's pretty dramatic differences between the severity of sprains and
yeah.
How quickly? Okay, Google says 4 to 6 weeks, but
not as bad as I thought.
I feel like there's probably a bigger range there overall.
Yeah,
I'm not a doctor, but I can pretend if I Google enough that I know stuff.
By the way, Math and I made the decision last night. I announced if I get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of this week, then I'll stream a 555 DraftKings draft.
Where are you at right now?
We're at 4,600 something, 4,640 or something.
Doesn't DK have a promo where if you draft a 555, you get several $20 tickets? I might be mistaken. I
don't think they have one going currently.
Okay.
But yeah, they may.
That might be a past promo, but
yeah.
I'd love to see you draft a 555, Neil. Do you think your draft strategy would change at all relative to a normal draft, or would you just be, team grab the best guys, grab your guys?
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more inclined to go after my guys when I'm drafting something higher stakes. So like if I really want Jordan Mason, I'll be more likely to get him or Drake May. I think I took Drake May in my last 555 because I was like, you know what? I want him on my high value teams. I think he's a really good pick where he goes. So I think I go after my guys a little bit more in those higher stakes contests. But for the most part, it's pretty similar.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think you'd want to dramatically alter things. I imagine just in general, the board would be a lot tighter. Probably not much ADP value to be had.
Yeah, that has been my experience. You don't get a ton of big fallers there. I've got a feyu thoughts on this one. We could go Woody Marks.
I like Woody Marks a lot here. Justice Hill is also solid.
You like Woody Marks better than Will Shipley?
pretty close between the two. We have 2 shares of Woody Marks already. You want to go Shipley just to even things out?
Oh, do we really? Yeah,
I
let's
believe
do
so.
that.
I think we've taken him in the last 2 drafts.
Yeah, let's go Shipley,
Sweet.
who I think has just firmly established himself as the running back 2 in Philadelphia, which I've kind of assumed all along. Competing with AJ Dillon, like AJ Dillon was never beating him out.
Oh my God, AJ Dillon is so bad. I can't believe the Packers drafted him as highly as they did.
I can't believe he's still in the league. Like now he's proven that he's bad.
Yeah. He's one of the only running backs that I feel like probably has cankles.
Yeah. I mean, he's got giant quads. So like cankles is supposed to be like your ankles are as big as the rest of your leg, right?
I believe so.
Isn't that what that means? So
I think. Yeah, huge quads. That's one of my favorite like fantasy Twitter things. I feel like it hasn't really happened this year, but just the general obsession with like, oh my gosh, this professional athlete is so jacked.
RJ Harvey has giant legs like that. People got excited about that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but he hasn't returned a kickoff 100 yards, so I don't think I can
That
take
is
him
true.
over Travion Henderson.
Fair point.
I mean, we don't even know if he can run 100 yards.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, me neither.
Prove it to me, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Neil, when you do these marathon streams, do you do anything to like, try to keep you awake and alert, or is it just all natural?
That's what you're for. You're here to keep me awake and alert. Yeah, no, I don't do anything different. Had my 2 coffees like I always have.
Okay.
Nothing special. I mean, this one's only gonna be 4 hours. I think I'll probably do one more draft after you and I are done. We're on the clock here. Isaac Tesla is there. Xavier Legette. DeAndre Hopkins, if we want to add on to our stack.
Ooh, I kind of like the Hopkins pick. I feel like I really wouldn't take him much outside of a team like this, but
yeah,
given our
we
build,
got a little nice stack going.
Yeah, I feel like Hopkins, he's got a couple 20-point games left in him.
Yeah, he's going to score 8 touchdowns this year. That's what people don't know about Hopkins. 8 touchdowns.
I mean, that would not be surprising if he had like 600 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns and squeaked in a couple 20-point games.
Yeah. I don't think I've drafted a single Tez Walker share this year.
What is the bull case for Tez Walker?
I think he got a little bit of like hype from coaches or something, like, oh, he's looking good out there, looking like he's taking a big step forward, but
you say that about
I just don't see it. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like I said, have not bought a share yet.
Yeah, I don't really think I can get there. Ray McLeod is a kind of interesting like contingent upside pick. Like I feel like if Darnell Mooney ever got hurt, or even Drake London, McLeod would immediately push for like a 20% target share. Not a guy that I've taken much, but a little interesting to think about.
I think I got a share last night for like the first time, and I've seen other people have talked about, like sharp people have talked about drafting Ray McLeod, and I've been like, I had not even considered Ray McLeod, but yeah, he had some nice stretches last year.
Yeah,
don't hate it.
Yeah, okay. Reporting on McMillan is at least 8 games from what I'm seeing. Yeah, my Google AI overview says severe sprains can take 3 months or longer. So yeah. I guess he's got a pretty. I mean, that was a gnarly, collision with the ground.
I actually have not seen the replay.
It's he got like folded in half. It's yeah, it's pretty gross. Like a kid at the trampoline park,
Jeez, it's not great.
No, it is not.
All right, so we are at the build is a 2-5-8-2. Let's read off the team. We got Justin Jefferson, Devin Achane, Lamar Jackson, Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers, Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones, Mark Andrews, Drake May, Christian Kirk, Darnell Mooney, Cam Scatterbu, Hunter Henry, Josh Palmer, Hollywood Brown, Will Shipley, and DeAndre Hopkins so far. What do we need? We could be done at quarterback, or we're probably done at quarterback with Lamar Jackson and Drake May.
Tight end, we're probably looking at a third.
Yeah, we've got Andrews and Henry, so we don't need it. But yeah, I agree with you. We probably want one more, maybe one more running back.
We could go 2 more running backs.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, it feels pretty wide open, at least as the flex positions go.
Nice place to be.
Yeah.
We can just
Oh
take
yeah.
who
I
we want.
definitely. I drafted a team the other night where I took Achan, and then I don't think I took another running back until like pick 130, and I ended up taking 8 total. Just jamming like all the 18, 19, 20th round guys. Didn't feel great, I gotta say.
Let me throw a name at you. Let's see if he's still there. No, he's gone. Rodriguez is gone. Damn it. All right. Do you like any DJ Giddens, Theo Johnson, Dammy Brown?
Giddens is interesting. I haven't taken many shares of him. I kind of like that to round out our,
did he
our
go?
running back room. Oh, he may have.
No, he's here. He's here.
Oh,
All
okay,
right.
yeah. Let's go with Giddens.
He just the psychic decided at the last minute based on the previous pick they didn't like it anymore. It is funny how that happened. Or maybe I was scrolled down. I don't know, but it does happen where like a pick that seems totally unrelated will like change the who's left equation, and then it'll just like flop things in ways that you're like, what is going on here?
That's interesting.
It's really interesting. Yeah. Where did Chris Rodriguez go? See, this is where it's going to be
201.
201. Oh, okay.
That's a
Bummer.
pretty reasonable price for sure.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Again, going to the team that already has Ja'Cory Croskey-Merritt. But I don't hate that.
Man, that guy's gonna hate it when Austin Eckler averages 19.
He's not going to be a big fan of that one. So I had been buying a ton of Tyler Higbee. I still like him as like a later round pick, but I've like Theo Johnson has grown on me. Some of these other tight ends.
Yeah, one of my favorite like last round, like I need a third tight end and a third quarterback. Going Theo Johnson, Jackson Dart, is pretty solid. Yeah, Johnson's fine there.
Do you want to look at running backs? Here's the running backs.
Miles Sanders isn't too bad. I mean, the upside case isn't like great, but we're talking 19th round running backs.
You want to go Miles Sanders? We can.
Yeah, there's a decent chance Johnson comes back to us.
And if he doesn't, I don't really care between Johnson, Higbee, Jawan Johnson.
Not interested in Darren Waller?
Not really.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I was trying to tempt you. That's just that seemed like a very silly signing. It's the ultimate like, oh, we have Johnny Smith at home.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Very strange one. Jonnu was so good for them. I was not expecting them to trade Jonnu. I was like, well, what? They were like made him a thing, and he was like amazing for them last year, like fit them perfectly. And they're like, nope, we're gonna change everything we're doing.
Yeah, I also thought it was a little weird how like we had tweets from Schefter like nonstop for 24 hours. Like the Steelers are really trying to trade for Johnny Smith.
Yeah.
Like, Arthur Smith is just going absolutely nuts, like banging down Mike Tomlin's door. Like, please, this is the final piece. We will win the Super Bowl if you give us Jonnu.
Very strange thing. Very strange thing.
It is.
Jake, did you see that Pete Overzet today was announced that he's going to be doing NFL streams with like Kay Adams and some NFL? Isn't that like?
I did. That's incredible. I mean, obviously, like good for Pete. I really can't think of anyone who deserves it more. Like,
yeah, he's
certainly entertaining and like, yeah, he's perfect. Like, what a great representative of the fantasy community for these broadcasts. I would love to know, and like maybe he'll probably talk about it on Lowell's, like how the hell did he get in contact with like these NFL people? Like,
I would guess they contact him. Through
Fantasy Life, right?
Through Fantasy Life would be my assumption. Okay. Yeah, through Matthew Berry would be my guess. But I think he's the perfect person for it. Like he's not going to be shy in front of those big cameras, those big lights.
It's just crazy to see like Kay Adams, Derek Carr, Pete Overzet. Like it's like, whoa, this is a guy who follows me on Twitter is on these broadcasts.
Cam Newton.
Oh yeah, Cam Newton too. Like, it's
pretty
just
nuts.
It's a crazy cast, but yeah, obviously like huge congrats. That's very well deserved. Very cool stuff for Pete.
Big congrats to Corporate Pete.
Yeah, Corporate Pete. That's really cool. Neil, do you think if the NFL reached out to you, do you think you would be up to the task, or would you get too scared to be on a broadcast with Kay Adams and Cam Newton?
No, I think I'd be up to it. I think I'd be okay. I mean, I wouldn't be good. Like I wouldn't be because I'm not good anyway. Like I'm not
Oh,
like
come
like
on.
no. Yeah, I'd be fine. I don't think that I would be like scared of it.
It would definitely give me some anxiety. I would also be up for it, but I feel like I would be very nervous. The heart would be racing.
I agree with that. It would give me some anxiety. Do you want to do Higbee, Juwan Johnson?
I prefer Juwan Johnson, but if you like Higbee, I could be convinced.
No, I have like very little Juwan Johnson, so let's do that.
Sweet.
2783. We have Justin Jefferson, Devin Achane, Lamar Jackson, Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers, Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones, Mark Andrews, Drake May, Christian Kirk, Darnell Mooney, Cam Scatterbu, Hunter Henry, Josh Palmer, Hollywood Brown, Will Shipley, DeAndre Hopkins, DJ Giddens, Miles Sanders, and Juwan Johnson. Not bad. Not bad.
I love it. I think that's a great team.
It's a strong team. Good 2 quarterback build. All right. So what else do you have going on the rest of the week, Jake?
Not much. So like I said earlier, I'm working on 2 articles on player consistency. So one will be consistency by production. The other will be consistency by usage using expected fantasy points. So those should be ready to be published early next week. I'll be sure to promote those on my Twitter account. You can see my at the bottom of the screen at Jake Tribbey. So give me a follow on Twitter. All my work will be over at Fantasy Points, those consistency articles. I don't know if I'll have anything else this off season. And then in season, I will have a very heavy hand in the Fantasy Points projections, in Scott Barrett's DFS breakdown. And I will also be doing several shows. So if you like DFS, if you like me and Neil potentially going at each other every Wednesday night, or Underdog Battle Royale drafts, I will be pretty heavily involved with shows about all of those things, which you can find over on the Fantasy Points YouTube page. So, yeah, TLDR, follow me on Twitter at Jake Tribbey, subscribe to fantasypoints.com. We have, there's a lot of reasons to subscribe to Fantasy Points. We have the best written content in the industry. It's not close. And I think that's the best reason to subscribe. We have all the best writers, all the best written content. All you need to do is read one Scott Barrett, Ryan Heath article, or even my consistency series. And I think you'll realize why I say that we have the best written content.
It's great stuff, and the data suite all there. By the way, you can get 10% off using promo code flannel on any Fantasy Points package. So check that out if you want to. Cool. All right, Jake, appreciate you. I assume you don't want to do another draft. I'm not trying to kick you out, but you kind of already said it.
I am pretty much tapped out. I would probably be game, but I spent like 2 or 3 hours before this show on calls with other people I work with, talking about various other fantasy football things. So I feel like maybe seeing the outdoors for just a few minutes would do wonders for me.
All right, you go do that. I'm going to do one more draft before dinner, and then I'm out of here as well. Appreciate you, Jake.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you for having me, Neil.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. All right, I'll see you soon.
Yep, see you.
All right, I'm doing one more draft here. Now I got to move this to that guy. Boom. All right. Going to get in for one more. Going to turn the music on. There we go. Getting into a $20. Two more. Get in. Let's do this. Fifth pick. Nice little string of picks here. 6, 5, 5, the last two. I do much prefer the 5 to the 6. Or sorry, the 6 to the 5. No, I think this is good. I think the 5th and 6th is actually not that different because you're a little bit more likely to get a player you really like at 29. I think you're not guaranteed to get a player that I like at 20, but I like it. I'm liking this string. Yes, I think it's on YouTube, like on YouTube TV. So I think I guess I don't actually know exactly where it is, where he's going to be. I have checked the solver for CLV teams. I've got some that are decent. I don't think I have anything that's like crazy good. Probably I will have some better ones now with JCM going up the boards. So I'll get some CLV there. Are there any teams that I absolutely love? There were some that I liked. I wouldn't say there was any one that I'm like, this is the team. This is the team. This is my shot at winning $2 million. I don't have any team like that exactly. But I also didn't honestly spend that much time on it. It was mostly just kind of want to see how it worked. I sorted by CLV. I looked at some of the top ones and I was like, all right, it's mostly on like one player that moved up, 80 picks or whatever. So it's less exciting than, I don't have any teams where it's like you look at it and it's all green. Every single player has moved up. I don't have any of those teams. But I feel good about the portfolio, I think. I could just take Justin Jefferson here again and just do it every time. I could just do Justin Jefferson every time. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to do a CeeDee Lamb share. I've got a lot of J-Jets. Mix it up a little bit. Nice. Good to have you in the draft. Which spot are you in, CC? See if it's obvious just looking at them. I don't think it. Are you R. Schindler? Favorite Minnesota brewery? I think it's probably. You're in the 11 hole. Nice. So for me, I don't think the answer is based on the beer necessarily, but I think Prize is my favorite one to go to. It's just like a giant space. The vibes are good. A lot of picnic tables. A lot of indoor space. Some outdoor space. There's like different areas that all feel a little bit different from each other. I don't know. And they have good food also, or at least pretty good food. Good enough. So Prize kind of stands out to me. I'm trying to remember. I just went to one with my wife like 2 weeks ago, and now I'm forgetting what the name of it was. Oh, I like Black Stack. That's another fun one. Just went there a month or so ago with the DFS friend. Kind of a fun place. They've got board games if you like that, but just like a giant open space. Good beer. Oh, a fellow prize enjoyer. Nice. Oh, you're trying to get Henry there, and he goes at the 6 hole. That's interesting. Yeah, Black Stack is good beer. I think it's a good environment, just a big open space. Reminder, if you want to get the draft one, get one, there's a link in the description of this video. You should check out. You might just get it anyway. I actually don't know how that works, but you should use my link. It probably helps me in some way. I guess I haven't really been saying it, but if you would like the video, would very much appreciate that. If you could subscribe to the channel, trying to get to 5,000 by the end of the week, if you want me to draft 555. Otherwise, by the NFL season would be cool. All right, do I go? I could do. I think Achane is going to continue to fall. I think there's like real concern about his injury. So I think I just do another Bowers here. I'll do Bowers. If you want to get alerts when I go live, hit the little notification bell. Oh, you're in Bloomington. Nice. I've got family in Bloomington. Free State or Boulevard in Minnesota? Free State sounds familiar. I don't know Boulevard. T-Wolves Bruss says we have Boulevard for sure. I'm not familiar. I'm not like a beer snob at all. Like I like most beers. And the downside to that is I don't remember the names of beers for the most part. I love a Smithwick's. I know I love a Smithwick's. I like Blue Moon. Stuff that's available pretty widely. I like going to breweries because it's just like a fun time going to breweries, trying the different beers, but it's not, I'm not a beer snob. I'll drink a light beer. Burrow goes at 25. That's interesting. All right. Do I go T. Higgins here? Knowing that I won't have a chance to draft Joe Burrow. Just getting T. Higgins. I'm going to go Josh Allen probably. I don't hate taking Higgins there, but I've also got a week 10 buy already. See, all I see is buys. I'm going to go Josh Allen. How do you look at CLV? Would you say 150 plus is what you look for? I mean, it's all there's no magic number there. I think there are going to be people who have lineups that are like 300 plus CLV, and it's just based on like, did you draft J.K. Dobbins in the 18th round or the 20th round when he was available there? So like, and that's just one player. Like it doesn't actually. It's cool. Like you got this, 100 picks in ADP value there, but it really comes down to you're going to have those great teams if you just get a few of those players. Keenan Allen, another one of those where you can get major CLV. But I don't know. There's no number that I'm looking at. I think there are going to be teams that only have, 70 picks total in ADP value that are going to look better to me than the teams with 200 overall. So I would sort it by that and just look at like the ones that you get the most CLV, and then you can just look through them. I think is the best way to look at it, rather than looking at that number. The number doesn't actually mean that much. Oh, did we get a wild one here? I haven't actually been looking. Haven't been paying close enough attention. I mean, we got Burrow at 25, so that's pretty wild already. Henderson 34. That's becoming the norm. Yeah, I guess mostly this over here is unique. I mean, Henry at 6. Bit unique. CC off to a nice little wide receiver start there. Space Camper. That's downtown Minneapolis. I've never heard of it. I'm trying to remember the name of the place I just went to with my wife a couple weeks ago. It's right by the there's a place that does a German place that has nice outdoor picnic tables and stuff, but they do like good brats and beer. And I forget the name of that place too, but it's right around the corner from it. I feel like might also have black in the name, the brewery. I don't know. Good vibes though. Cook moving back up boards. right, I'm gonna contemplate Rabona's question after I make my next pick. All right, let's see here. Devonta Adams, nice little fall there. That's a pretty clear pick. All right. Neil, if you give advice to someone who wins it all this year in best ball, what would it be? Like what advice on like what to do with your money, or like what do you mean exactly? So are we assuming they win $2 million? Because that's going to be very different than if you win, 50,000 at one of those smaller contests. Kind of depends on you. Like it depends on what you want. Like I think if you are interested at all in getting into content, like that has been a pretty easy way to get into content, is just, hey, look, I won this best ball contest. I'm going to start streaming. I would, strike while the iron's hot if that's something you're interested in. A lot of people are not going to be interested in that though. If you don't want to do content, then I guess my advice would be don't spend it all in one place. Save 40% for taxes. And sugar daddy season, of course. Put the rest in sugar daddy season. No, that is not financial advice. Not even any kind of advice. I do not mean that. I have no actual opinion. I don't pay attention to crypto. But I would put some into stock market. Probably hire a financial advisor. But also, it's not enough to retire on. $2 million. Man, Breece Hall at 53 is tempting. I don't have a running back yet. I'm not even that big of a Breece Hall guy. And now he's splitting. So like maybe this is just where he's going to start going. I do need a running back. Screw it. I'm going to do it. Going to do Breece Hall. Nice enough value. He's got the talent. If he gets traded, maybe it's to a better situation. Oh, it's a Brewhall. Oh, okay. Brewhall downtown Minneapolis. Tap Society is cool. I like Tap Society. Have Hampton or Henderson been named the starters? Guessing their draft position is based on hope. I mean, it's just a pretty good assumption. I think that Hampton at least is going to be the starter with Najee not really practicing, injured eye. I don't really think anybody else. I don't know. Even if somebody like Kamani Fidel got the start or something, which I guess you never be that shocked by it. I think it's just you're betting on the talent there. Talent winning out. And Henderson, I think, is going to be involved right away. I think the assumption isn't that he's going to start week one. It's just that he's gonna be the talent is going to be undeniable, and he's going to win a big role. Interesting strategy in the 2-hole. Wade says, yeah, that's let's see. I mean, interesting strategies all around in this one. I didn't even notice Baker Mayfield at 47. This one could be at risk of being thrown out. I don't know. I mean, I think Burrow at 25, that's like reasonable enough. This team seems mostly fine. 2-hole though. First, I mean, Chuba Hubbard at 23. Didn't even notice that one. Also a reach there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Baker at 47. Chuba at 23. And all I got out of it is Breece Hall, which I don't even feel that good about. but hopefully I'll continue to benefit a bit from the chaos. I like what CC is doing here. Nico Collins, Puka Nacua, Tyreek Hill. Then he goes Kenneth Walker and RJ Harvey. That's pretty fun. Nice little falling Devontae Smith. That's a really nice team. Hubbard is the most weirdest. I mean, or Baker. Baker's right there, I'd say. I think Baker maybe more so, in my opinion, because he's unstacked. It's not even like take the quarterback with your stack. What up, Pepper Tony? Did you catch that DK leaderboard promo? It ended, but it basically treated entries as weekly winners for first week with 20 tickets as a prize. Value DFS. I don't think I noticed that. Do not think I noticed that. Oh man, Travis Hunter at 67, one pick before me. That is pain. I mean, Zay Flowers, that's a nice little fall for me too. We'll do that. DK basically treated entries as weekly winners for first week with 20 tickets as a prize. Okay. I saw something about like week 2, like being the best in week 2, which I didn't pay honestly that close of attention to. I opted in. I mean, I'm happy to. I always opt in for everything. All right, Pepper Tony thinks I should feel good. Second time I've gotten him in the 5th round. Thank you, Carlos. Also very much looking forward to the season. Can't wait. Yeah, Zay at 67. We'll take that. We'll take that. Rubona says it's getting thrown out. Bo Nix at 76 now. Well, I'm going to draft it as though it's not getting thrown out and hope for the best. Put Diggs up there. Actually, I think Pacheco probably the better pick for this team. We'll see what else is there, though. I'll go Pacheco. One slot ruined everything. You mean you think that's why it's getting thrown out? I mean, the one slot isn't even that far off ADP. I think they're like mostly fine. I don't know. I don't know that any of these teams are quite to the level of like automatic throw out, but there's 2 of them that are some big reaches on them. Bo Nix is 76, where he has Sutton. That seems fine. Tomorrow, going to be back streaming at 3 Eastern with Derek Brown. Should be a fun one. Thursday, streaming with Run Pure guys, joining John Sarabian on his stream. But I think we're gonna. I asked him to cross stream on this channel also, so we will be streaming that on Thursday. Also doing something with Davis tomorrow at 11 Central, noon Eastern. But I think that is a pre-recorded. I don't know if we're gonna be live. I think we're just gonna be pre-recorded, and that'll be on his channel. Friday I'll be doing something, probably Saturday and Sunday as well. I got to do so this is my 6th streamed draft of the week. I'm going to do 20. Also going to put out some more of those short form videos on just like 10 to 15 minute draft reviews. We'll be doing some of those on this channel, putting out some Twitter threads on DraftKings Best Ball. It'll be a busy DraftKings Best Ball week for me. Always good time. Bill goes at 81 in this one for those tracking where he's going. I mean, Chris Olave at 92. I can't pass that up, can I? I don't think I can pass that up. This is a fun team. 1-2-4-1. CeeDee Lamb, Brock Bowers, Josh Allen, Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, Zay Flowers, Isaiah Pacheco, Chris Olave. Jack says, is Derek going to be streaming at 1.5x? Yeah, a little bit of a controversy last week with my guy D-Bro. Got caught. He accidentally posted a video that was 1.25x that he just took from another account that had posted a 1.25x video. And Fantasy Receipts called him out for posting a 1.25x video. It's like he has nothing to gain by posting a video at a faster speed. Kind of a weird situation for them to be calling him out. Yeah, feel good about Olave at 92. Hopefully this one does not get thrown out. Yeah, Pearsall moving up quickly with some of the Ayuk FUD on his injury. I don't know if FUD is the right word, but Ayuk some kind of some negativity on his injury. Possibly on Friday. I'm not sure. I need to talk with Justin and Drew. I think D-Bro said he'd be down for doing something on Friday. Jawan Jennings at 101. This is just insane. This is one I'll pop it in on the solver and it'll be immediately my biggest CLV. Maybe not my biggest, but it'll be a lot of CLV on this one. Because it's like every player getting some, but none of them are like 100 picks on their own. A 1-2-5-1. Yeah, I've always enjoyed doing those streams with D-Bro, Drew, and Justin Steele. I've been doing less streaming at night. I have found that I kind of enjoy streaming in the day and then having the evening to myself also. So I've been doing a little bit less streaming at night, but that's when those guys like to stream. So yeah, I'll see. Maybe this weekend we'll do a stream with those guys. Always a good time. Yeah, so I've got a ton of JCM. So I'm not like, I don't feel like I need to be packing my bags now because I already have so much. I think I'd be willing to take him in the right build at like 130. If he falls to me at 130, I think at this point, because he's going so much earlier, I'll take him at 130, 140. I don't think I'm taking him ahead of that though. Do you have a favorite last round flyer or just mix them up based on your team stacks? I'd say mostly I mix them up, but there are several that I like. I really do like Kavontae Turpin in the 20th round. Who else? Right? Like tight ends. I like Higbee. Was Fannin for a while. Fannin now has moved up quite a bit. Wide receivers. Yeah, so Turpin, Tutu Atwell, Jordan Whittington, I think is a pretty strong one there. Who else do I take there? I mean, Jalen Coker when he's available. Yesterday it was Chris Rodriguez. Chris Rodriguez now flying way higher than the 20th round. So is what it is. Dameon Pierce, I still think is a pretty good bet in the 20th round. But I also, yeah, just like the rookies, DJ Giddens, Jarquez Hunter, Rashard Smith. There are a number of them that I think are just pretty good bets in the 20th round. Jaden Reed now available. If I want to just continue the theme of scooping up value, I could do that. I assume Dak is gone. Yeah, Dak is gone, looks like. Unfortunately, it is all wide receivers. Like this is just a room that hates wide receivers, apparently. So I'm at 1-2-6-1. I'd prefer it if I was just getting a bunch of different positions, getting nice value on all of them. Yep. Wade says, I have 20% JCM through 105 drafts, most of it early. Debro got me on him. What's your exposure? I mean, less than 20%. I have like 2 players over 20%. Those being maybe 3. I think I have over 20%. At least the 3 that come to mind for me are Bashal Tootin, JJ McCarthy, and Jalen Knoll. I'm pretty sure I have over 20% of all those guys. I'll have to update my exposures, and then maybe I can look at it tomorrow. Always fun doing the exposure check thing. Jordan Love. Now we've got 2 quarterbacks. I do not have Josh Allen stacked up at all yet. It's probably fine for Josh Allen. Mad Doc says, Washington RBs never really got a huge workload last year. Is Eckler moving up 2 now? Yeah, I mean, I think they like Brian Robinson's scores from last year. If JCM put up the stat line that Brian Robinson had last year, you'd take it in the 18th round. Now he's moving up high enough that it's like maybe not, but you're betting on that he's just better. But yeah, I think Eckler is starting to move up very, very slightly. I know the ranking systems all have moved Eckler up. Leg Up, ETR, I think both moved him up in the ranking. So I would imagine that it's follows a little bit. So pretty soon he'll be moving up. We're at a 2-2-6-1. CeeDee Lamb, Brock Bowers, Josh Allen, Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, Zay Flowers, Pacheco, Olave, Jennings, Reed, Love. I'm digging it. It's a fun team. Yeah, at this point, I'm not getting any more JCM because he's just going too early. I could look. I'll look on my phone right now. What is my latest DraftKings exposure to JCM? Okay, so actually, man, I have a lot. I have higher exposures than I realized on DraftKings in general. Well, let me just sort by best ball only. Okay, best ball exposures. Highest owned, Bashal Tootin, 34%. Jalen Knoll, 34%. Harold Fannin, 32%. Miles Sanders, 31%. RJ Harvey, 26%. Tony Pollard, 26%. Hunter Henry, 25%. George Pickens, 25%. Dylan Sampson, 24%. All right, I'm actually about 23% Brock Bowers. I've been taking some stands here. Cam Scattaboo. Come on down. All right. 2361. I'm going to find my JCM exposure. 14% Ja'Cory Croskey-Merritt. He is about $853 spent on him. So for me, that's one of my highs. If I sort by, it's not letting me do it. I don't know why my phone is freezing. Gonna reload my DraftKings, but I think he's like my third in terms of money spent. Yeah, he's my third most money spent on running backs. Bashal Tutin, Jordan Mason, Ja'Cory Croskey-Merritt, Jerome Ford. Actually, Austin Eckler, my sixth. Jerome Ford, then Jarquez Hunter, then Austin Eckler. Just under $800 spent. Thoughts on where B-Rob will be traded? No, I got nothing there. Could see the Cowboys. I think that would make sense. Although maybe not. That's more of a rivalry, right? So they probably don't want to trade him to the Cowboys. I don't think I want one. I think I'm gonna stack up. This team is too good to be taking risks on Ayuk, I think. And I like just stacking up my quarterback. But I'm at 2371. Did we win the Millie yet? I don't think I've drafted the Millie winning team yet. Maybe. It's possible. I'm going to draft that tomorrow. On the stream tomorrow, we're going to draft the Millie team. No, we've drafted some nice teams. Like I said, I don't have one team that like stands out to me as the clear best. Unfortunately, my best value teams were all Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin falling way past ADP and getting them stacked up. Like I had one of those early on where they like I got Jaden Daniels at like pick 54, 56 or something on a team where I just had everybody fall, and it was amazing. And then a month later, after Terry McLaurin decided to hold out, suddenly a lot of people are getting the same thing. Kamara, your biggest flag plant, doesn't seem like a bad one. Math likes him quite a bit. Mathology. Sidekick thinks I might need a running back here. Tight end, I only have one, but it's Brock Bowers. I mean, he's not that. I wouldn't say he's grossly undervalued. He's goes around pick 50, right? Seems reasonable. But I guess I also think like that's factoring in just that could hit an age cliff. I think is the big concern there. And like maybe the offense isn't great. So to me, he seems appropriately valued, but could be totally wrong. You're not the first person I've heard really like him. I still have not come up with a good answer to if you could know the stat line of one player. That's really it's a good question. It's a fun one. All right, Jaden Blue. 2471 is the team now. CeeDee Lamb, Brock Bowers, Josh Allen, Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, Zay Flowers, Isaiah Pacheco, Chris Olave, Jawan Jennings, Jaden Reed, Jordan Love, Cam Scatterbo, Josh Palmer, and Jaden Blue. T-Wolves brought an agreement about Kamara being undervalued. Love that. T-Wolves says, I hear your background music in my sleep. Is that because you play the sounds of the Flannelverse when you go to bed? You would not be the first. You would not be the first to do that. It is pretty soothing music. Najee at 171. I think this is a Jerome Ford team. Yeah. Why would anyone want JCM at these prices? I think people are extrapolating from, okay, this is what Brian Robinson did last year. What if JCM is just way better? Like, I think they're making the assumption of, he ran for over 8 yards a carry in his one game last year, over 6 yards a carry the year before that. So I think there's some belief that he could just be like a really good running back. And they think he could win out the bell cow role on a really good offense. I think it's sort of a long shot bet, more of a long shot bet than people are thinking. I think the drumbeat from camp, people are thinking like, okay, the team loves him. They're like, this is going to be the bet is this is the starting running back on the Commanders. He's a pretty good pass catcher, good pass blocker. So could be involved in the passing game. I think it's more likely that Austin Eckler just holds on to the pass catching role. So it's a long shot bet, but I think that is the bet on JCM, which again, I'm not buying. I'm not chasing him up here. Happy with the exposure that I got at cheaper price tags. But I think that is the thought process is, okay, Austin Eckler got enough work last year. And what if Bill is just better? And he's actually a really good running back in this great situation. But yeah, I think it's a tough one. That Sox says Bill getting way too much hype. Fading B-Rob was a good idea in DFS because he would never go crazy. I think I agree that it's too much hype at this point. I would say nobody but Neil actually wins contests. You mean best ball? Because I have never won a best ball contest. Still chasing that dream. All right. This is my year. DJ Giddens over Isaac Garendo. I think I'm going to go Garendo. That'll catch up on chat. Yeah, appreciate that. Let's get that money. Let's bring it into Minnesota. Let's boost that Minnesota economy with some big best ball wins. Yeah, I agree with this. Pepperoni says, I think you need to consider opportunity costs as well. At this point, there are so many known quantities. If I had to give up Darnell Mooney, ETN, Evan Ingram, etc. to get JCM, I really don't care. I don't really care. Yeah, I mean, he's going a little bit before them, though, at this point. He's going ahead of. He's going in the range. I guess you're giving up. I'm trying to think who goes in that range. I like TJ Hawkinson. Nah, I hear you. If you want to buy him there, by all means. I think it's enough of a long bet that I'm not chasing him up there, but I guess I understand why it's happening. All right, Harold fan, let's do this. Is he taking that pick? You know, I'm starting to think about like, all right, this team's going to look great in the solver ADP value, but then I'm just giving up like 20 picks of ADP value by taking Harold Fan in there, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Neil, if you don't mind me asking, how much have you invested in so far? You mean in best ball this year? I think right around 10,000. I think by the end of the drafting season, so I got 2 weeks left. The goal is like right around 15,000. (2024) was easily my worst best ball year. It was brutal for me. I did a ton of 0 RB, and like I had a fair amount of, I was over the field on Bucky Irving. I was over the field on Chase Brown. So I got like some things right, but I also was like, I had a ton of Marshawn Lloyd. And then I was like the receivers that I drafted that actually were seeming to work out. So Jamar Chase worked out. I was over the field on Jamar Chase, thought he was a great pick. But then like the later ones, I was really in on some guys that looked there, like Rashid Shaheed. I was over the field on Rashid Shaheed, Chris Godwin, Rashid Rice, just like I guess I'm making excuses now. I'm giving you the good excuses of like a lot of the players that I like that were doing well got hurt, but I also just played terribly. Just like in retrospect, I was really high on Audric Estime, Khalil Herbert, so I can't really chalk it up to bad luck. It was a lot of bad play also. I think I'm doing better this year. I feel better about the picks right now, but yeah, we'll see. I did get a few teams to various finals. I had one that I thought on the last day I was going to get up to like 5th and then just didn't do anything, fell flat. But yeah, it was a pretty terrible year. Will Shipley fallen a little bit? I'm actually going to do that. Yeah, Jalen Lane, I've only taken a couple shares. I think I do need to be taking a little bit more. Seems like a pretty good final round pick. Rodriguez has been going like round 16 or so. I don't think it's been like super consistent where he goes. Yeah, Marshawn Lloyd was just, that one feels like it feels like it was bad luck because it was just so many weird injuries one after the other. But maybe there was a way to know. I don't know. Yeah, that's also true. Pepperoni says every big best ball voice said to fade Saquon and Henry, which is funny in retrospect. I was fading Henry and Barkley, so that's another thing that was just not going well. Thank you for the reminder on Chris Rodriguez, because I'm actually going to take him here. Feels like a pretty good 19th round click. Still, like, he could be a 0. There's a very, very real possibility of Rodriguez being a 0, but he got the start yesterday. James says they'll tell you to fade the RB1 next year too, unless it's CMC. I mean, it's not happening this year. Everybody's buying all the running backs this year. Anyone you are completely fading? Doubtful. I mean, other than like obviously 18th round picks, there's probably players that I just have not even crossed my mind. But yeah, there are players that I'm lower on. Actually, I'm going to scroll down my exposure and see if I can come up with any that I have very little of. I'm sure Derrick Henry on DraftKings for me is not a full fade, but like I'm sure I'm way under the field there. Terrence Ferguson, he's an 18th rounder, but like he's one that I am intentionally fading. I'm still in on Higbee there. Nice to see I have $20 spent on Najee Harris, so that feels good. Ooh, I only have $20 on Marvin Mims. That doesn't feel as good. Didn't I just draft? That must have been today. Could this be updated? According to my yeah, this has to be updated. I only have 1 share of Khalil Shakir, which does not feel good. That is not an intentional fade. Because I think he's a pretty good DraftKings pick. But I have $3 total spent on Khalil Shakir. So gotta up those numbers a little bit. I have $10 spent on Jameson Williams, which would be just 1 draft. Which has been like I'm intentionally under the field on JMO. I do not love having. I'm gonna have to up that number a little bit. Caleb Johnson, pretty big fade for me. Interestingly, I have only 2% Josh Allen, but I have $575. It's not that interesting. It just means I took him in the 555. In one of the 2 555s I've done, I got Josh Allen. And that is one of only 2 times I've taken, or maybe like 5 times I've taken him, I guess. All right, we are almost on the clock. And it's a 2872 build right now. Sidekick thinks 2972 is the way. It's interesting. I'll think about that. Do I want to go Jarquez Hunter? I guess I didn't take my first running back till the 5th round. All right, I'm gonna go with the sidekick. Jarquez Hunter. There you go. Weird team, 2972. CeeDee Lamb, Brock Bowers, Josh Allen, Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, Zay Flowers, Isaiah Pacheco, Chris Olave, Jawan Jennings, Jaden Reed, Jordan Love, Cam Scatterbo, Josh Palmer, Jaden Blue, Jerome Ford, Isaac Garendo, Harold Fannin, Will Shipley, Chris Rodriguez, and Jarquez Hunter. Got a lot of nice value on this team. I think it could play. I think this is a fun team overall. Elite onesies. Nice value on some running backs. Really nice value on some receivers. I like it. I think it's a good team. I agree with you. I like Click and Eckler. What style? I think probably Hero RB would be my guess. I really like Hero RB drafts. Mims, I'm sure, was going much later pre-draft, I think. I don't have a ton of MHJ. That's another one. Yeah. WFN says he had 0 pre-draft. Or no. Yeah, I'm not really high on MHJ. Mad Sox thinks Najee is a good value now. He might be. I think he's a fine. Like he's probably at this point just the RB2 there. And he's going late enough that I think you're probably right, assuming that his eye is not completely just assuming that he still can see. I think you're right. I would hate this so much. Pete says, here's my bold prediction for the season. Joe Milton, the third, will be starting for the Cowboys. So you're assuming an injury, right? Because they're not replacing Dak unless there's an injury. I hope that you're wrong about that. Really hope you're wrong about that because I have a lot of Dak. All right. That's going to do it for this stream. I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow at 3 Eastern with Derek Brown. We'll be streaming. I'll probably do 3 drafts tomorrow. I'm through 6 now, so I've got 14 more to stream this week. I'll be putting out some other videos on the channel as well, putting out some shorts, doing some on Twitter at PlayerQDFS. You can find me there as well, putting out some threads. All right. If you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the little notification bell if you want to get alerts when I go live. Would appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate you all in there. I will catch you tomorrow.